Hi, chat. Welcome to stream. Hello, chat. So we got a new game we're gonna do today. I was looking at it for a couple days now on my, what's it called? I think it was like recommended on Steam. It's called Carimara Beneath the Forelorn Limbs. It looks really interesting, and like, I've been interested in it for a hot minute now, but I've been waiting to play it on stream. It looks cool. It looks so fucking cool. Let me see what else. But yeah, I'm just stoked for it, and I don't know if some of you guys saw. We got a new setup. Look at this shit. Look how cool this is. Here, hold on. Let me move her around. Look at this shit. See, like, there's even like the little bed and shit over there. Look at that shit. Just a slight Gaslight District mention, you know, no biggie. Come back. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move over to, actually, do I want to do this screen, or do I want to do this screen? I think I want to do this screen. Let's try out this screen and see how that looks. Because if I feel like I'm like, oh, like, we're gonna do it on the bigger screen, then we'll do it on the bigger screen. But let me load it up. She's doing that little bouncing thing that she does. There she goes. There she goes. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and... To quit, maintain escape for 4 seconds. WASD or arrows, space or right click, left click, move mouse, English. Yeah, right there is fine. Okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, I think I do have to do it. Can I... There we go. Oh, that's it? Really? Oh, shit. Okay, you know what? We will do it on the bigger screen then. Alright. Let me... What is that? What is that shit? Anyway. Game capture... That is so fucking weird. It's not showing it for me? Huh. That is so weird. It won't show it for me right now. I don't know why that is. That's suspicious. Huh. Okay. Well, you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll do display capture instead. I feel like that might be better. And I'm actually going to dismiss. Not dismiss. I meant skip that ad, but whatever, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Yep, you're gonna have to just see my full thing because I don't know how else to do it. Let me see how that looks on my quote-unquote second monitor. That is literally just my fuck-ass phone. Okay, that actually looks fine. That actually looks fine. This is good, I think. Oh. Once upon a time. Turn this up. Beneath the shadows of a long-lost forest. Oh, hello. That's a creature. That's a creature feature. Featuring the creature. Hello, I'm here to talk to you about your Verizon subscription. Ooh. Why are you looking at me like that? That's disgusting. Oh, so we're just welcomed into this house. That's nice, I guess. Sip. What a lovely dinner. I sure hope nothing bad happens. Oh, golly gee. I sure hope I don't get kidnapped. I sure hope nothing happens. Oh, collect cards. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Use it on characters. What are you waiting for? Just go to the cellar. Have some questions? Old lady. Old lady seeks experience Carimara for ghost problem. Oh, okay. It was all in the sign. That's all you need to know about me. You curious little guy? What about these bag dolls? Aren't they beautiful? They're soft. They smell good. And when they fall on your head, they don't shatter your skull. Because they're squishy. What I think of you? You don't look very strong nor very intelligent. But hey, only you bother to do this dirty work around here. So we make do. I'll leave. Good luck. Walk and explore. I am very short. Can I go up here, please? Excuse me. What is that over there? Aw, oh, shit. Oh, I thought I could go over there. Okay, hold on. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. I got this. Ah! Okay, Oh, chest! Cool. Chest box. Huh? Oh! Okay, so I had to figure out the word for... Did I have to figure out the card for key or some shit? Because it's kind of like based on like words, right? It's almost like... Oh, okay. What about this? Can I click on this? No? Anything else? Anything else I can click on? No? What about back here? Anything? No? Okay. Let me leave. We gotta figure this out. Bag dolls? No. Oh! I didn't even realize that there's a whole frickin' underneath here. Wooden statues. Okay. So in a way, it's kind of a words thing. It almost feels like homocipher in a way of just like, you have to figure out like words for things. This almost feels like, okay, when I was a kid and when I was like learning to speak, because I was mute for a little bit, and in order to say what I would want, we would have these cards that would say like what I wanted to do on them. Like one says bathroom, one says bedtime, or brush your teeth, or stuff like that, right? Oh, frog. Can I click on the frog? We're also going into ads, but if you want to skip those, feel free to. We want to gaze upon her again. Yes, look at her. One last time. I don't know who you mean, but like, bring her back. She must return. I don't know who you mean, but alright. I want to know what this is. Hey. Little one. Can you understand me? I don't know why I'm here. Who was I? Who killed me? Can I say her? What killed me? That was a guess. Are you mocking me? Get out of my sight. Ah! Oh, I fainted. Poor, insignificant little thing. The ghost did him no favors. It's a good thing I followed him discreetly. Let's take it back upstairs. What the fuck? Hi, lady. Oh, you're awake. I'm relieved. You were pale as a ghost when I found you. Take care of yourself. How do I see the cards I have in my inventory? Can I see the cards I have in my inventory? I don't know. Let me do this. Old lady. Oh, wooden statues. Forelorn. No. Dang it. Okay, so maybe I gotta go. I guess we can go outside now. That's nice. Oh my god, I will devour your insides. I was joking. Don't make that face. What do you want from me, you little brat? Is it edible? I don't give a shit. Violet? Oh, her name is Violet. She's been living here for ages. But some years ago, she ended up all alone. And since then, nothing's gone right. Nobody gives me anything to chew on anymore. I'm waiting for her to pass away so I can eat her dead body. Wooden statues. Ah, those famous statues. A fine piece of work. By the way, one day I saw the old lady throw one of these into the river. She was squealing like a pig being slaughtered. It was hard to watch, poor thing. The old lady seems to love it. She doesn't open it very often. She must be hiding something very precious in there. A fine cut of meat, I guess. I tried eating one once. It was disgusting. They were full of flowers. It's Violet's new hobby, now that she stopped sculpting. Crazy to be this superstitious. The old lady is losing her marbles. Ain't I a stunner? I'm also quite smart and kind. Alright, I confess. I may slaughter someone from time to time, but most of the time it's well deserved. Ask about me. You're terribly ugly. Bruh, I didn't even do shit to you. I've literally only been asking you 20 questions, but I'm ugly. Yeah, alright. But it suits you. I've never tasted a little goblin like you. Bye. Oh! Rose ship. Okay. Can I ask you about the rose ship? Some itchy ass fruit. Don't eat those. You'll feel it passing by. It's full of prickly hairs. Dormice love it though. They really eat whatever they can get their hands on. Oh, wait. Maybe if we find a mouse, we can give it the thing and then oh shit. I unlocked 10 cards. Tell me about the shed. It stinks of death down there. As the saying goes, you reap what you sow. Or even, sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. I love giving myself a dramatic flair. This owl is so whimsical and silly. I love him. Axe. Can I go inside the shed? I cannot go inside the shed. I wish there was a way like we could fucking... Because what if that's what killed... What's her name? Anything else in here that I can... Where's the lady at? Where did she go? Oh, there she is. Hey, I want to ask you about shit. Here. Lavender. I store my lavender in it to stuff my dolls. Nothing you'd be interested in. I made the statues myself. They're cursed. Some years ago, they started falling off by themselves. I couldn't bring myself to throw them away. To the cellar, at least. They can't fall any lower. A Forelorn? To me, it's a ghost, but okay. It's settled in our cellar. Some nights you can hear it howl. I feel like it's calling me. It keeps me awake at night. Find a solution. That's your job, isn't it? I'm sorry, I just get so jumpy these days. I don't get much sleep. Oh, the owl. I see you've met the owl. She enjoys to stay near our house. I think she likes us quite a lot. We named her Pansy. It's nice that you could talk to her with your card since you're mute. Your magic is really useful. What about these, the rose hips? Isn't it pretty? Long ago, we used to make jam out of it, but I don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't like it anyway. What about the shed? This old shack is falling apart. It's been a long time since we set foot there. Why do you care anyway? Can I go Mimir? I go Mimir. Ah, Mimir. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Definitely not a red flag. Oh, wait. Oh, here she is. Never mind. What you doing with that? It's exhausting. But I've always loved it. I hope I can keep splitting logs until I die. But first, a short break. Huh. Anything? Okay. Oh, hello, owl. I waited for that selfish hack to look away so I could steal some of her grub. Don't you dare screw this up, you little jerk. Can't I go up here? I can now. Nice. Okay, anything that I can get a good look at. So is this for oh. Suspicious hole. Oh! Hi. Dormouse. Some rosehip. I smelled some rosehip. I'm quite shy. My dad told me to never talk to strangers, especially those nosy little bastards like you. It's a shame he's no longer here to talk about it. If I get my hands on whoever killed him, I'll shoot him in the face with a large wooden punch. Okay. You seem really nice. I'm gonna go now. You're scaring me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. What else can I find in here? Owl? No. Rosehip? No. Shed? No. Suspicious hole? No. Dormouse? No. Okay. I was just gonna say, do I get, hey. Suspicious hole. Are you going to show me every corner of the house? Fuck off with your hole. I meant to do the mouse. A dormouse? I knew there was one left in that hut. They're absolute vermin. They lurk in the shadows, and as soon as your back is turned, they're pranking you. They steal your stuff, they trash your place, and they throw at your face all the crap they can find. At first, it's funny. In the end, you want to slaughter all of them. Okay, I'm gonna go tell the dormouse about you. I think I know who killed the dad. I'm pretty sure I know who killed the dad. Can I talk to you again? No? Okay. Let's see. Maybe I can go back into the shed and like look for other shit. Pretty sure I went this way, I think. I didn't go this way. Oh. This way is blocked, so I have to go back that way. Gotcha. I think it was this way. This way. This way. This way. Oh! Oh, I'm back where I started. Oh, there I am. I look so Sigma. Let's see. Let's see if I have enough to crack the puzzle. You're back. Have you pondered my questions? This time, don't make any mistake. So who was I? I think you're the Forelorn. The Forelorn. I think she killed you. What killed you? I'm gonna say the shed. I'm trying to figure it out! Don't get mad at me! You don't seem very confident. Are you sure you have all the information you need? Come back when you have a real theory. Listen, I think I know. I think I have a pretty good idea of what killed you. You're gonna have to let me cook. He still can't seem to get it right. He better not leave without solving the problem. So do I have to go to sleep each time? And then do it? Hey. Hi. Boop. Watch out! There's something living in there. I think it's a dormouse. As long as you don't piss it off, it won't hurt you. But you're so meek and fragile. Maybe don't push your luck. Oh! You're in luck? Usually it never shows itself. I think there's another one in the shed. I've lost the key, but you should be able to get in through the side. There's a missing plank on the left behind the thorns. Ah! Okay. Dormouse. Oh, dormouse. Don't kill me. Ah. Man, whatever. I'm relieved you were pale the ghost when I found you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so don't show him the owl, because I think the owl was what killed him. I will show you, however, the rose things. Here, rose hip. Hi, mouse. Okay. I'm gonna go now. Bye, dormouse. Hi, owl. Okay, never mind. I don't have anything to ask you about, I guess. She said go to the side of the house? Right, I think she said go that way. It's like a loose plank or something, she said. Oh. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. I've entered the shed. Oh! This is a thing. Let me look at it. Let me look at the thing. Fuck. Garden tool. Yeah. And then there's this. There's this thing. Fuck. What was interact again? Interact was left. Do I have to be looking like directly? Dead dormouse. Okay. Can I not look at this? At all? No? Alright. Let's see. Owl statue. Long crane. this is so pretty. I can't talk to the bird. What the fuck? Sword! Or grave. Oh, is this the ghost? This is probably the ghost. That makes sense. Okay. I wish I could look at this thing though and get fucking get a card out of it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But that's okay, because we're gonna ask the owl about this shit. Hi, owl. The garden used to be beautiful and well maintained. Now it's hard to hunt with all these weeds. There's nothing left to put in your gullet. How sad. I wonder why I still stick around. That's mercy, I guess. Oh, you found it! Still, Violet isn't playing with a full deck. Instead of looking for a culprit, she prefers to pour out all her hatred on the statue as if it could act on its own. It's always me who has to do the dirty work of this bloody house. What a waste. Burying a delicious fresh corpse like this. You could have at least left me those pretty eyes. Alright. Thank you. Okay. Hey, can I ask you something? I don't like gardening. I tried, but I just can't do it. Poor little dormouse. Who the hell did this? That's awful. I'll bury it across the river. Where did you find this? I should have burned it. Well, I confess, I haven't told you everything. Go and look in the chest. The key is hidden above the fireplace. Just jump. Oh! Key. Is there gonna be a corpse in here? Oh, Lavender. Is that her daughter? Is Lavender the daughter, dude? Oh my god. Wait, shut up. Shut up. Nothing? Nothing to say. Alright, bet. Alright, hey, Ghost lady, I think I know who killed you. Pretty sure I know who did it. I'm like 85 to 90% sure I know who did it. You were Lavender. I think the old lady killed you. And I think the garden tools were what were used. It's nice of you to keep coming to see me every time. I'm starting to believe in you. See you soon, I hope. Oh, okay, she's nice to me. Thank you for being nice to me. You still can't seem to get it right. You better not leave without solving the problem. Shut up! I'm trying my best, and you're being rude to me. Everybody is so mean to me. Okay, I got the key. I found the key. Wash my belly. I found the key. Anything else up here? Because I visited the dormouse already. Oh, there's crows outside. Is she outside? It's exhausting. Okay, you're still splitting logs. Whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. Oh, wait. Can I? No? Oh! Can I go back there? No. Damn it. Wait. Oh, wait. Can I go up here? Crow. Bird. What the fuck? Oh. I can go up into the house, though. Oh, hi, Dormouse. I can go this way, though. Oh my god. Yeah, I can go up here. Awesome. Oh, let me see what else is here. There's deer. There's deer over there. Okay. Oh. Hold on. Key? Leave. Leave. Oh. Oh! Lavender. Huh. Okay. Can I climb the tree to get up there, maybe? Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to find the clues for that. What's over here? Is it just more fence? It's just more fence. Okay. Let me look back here again. Yeah, there's one grave. Oh, wait. Cause what's it called? It was showing the fucking oh, another grave. I see. I can't interact with it, but I see it. Oh wait, I gotta go do the thing again. Okay, am I able to go over there? I am not. Dang it. Okay. We might need to try and get more clues because I don't think... Wait. Let me go ahead and try what I'm thinking of with this tower again. I'm just gonna try. Let me see. Lavender. The grave. Forelorn. Nothing. Okay. So that gave us nothing, but that's okay. Oh wait, let me ask the dormouse some shit. Tell me about Lavender. Oh, the other woman. She took good care of me. Not like the crazy one. The two of them got on like a house on fire. I really miss those days. Key. Ooh, well done. You figured out how to open the chest. How clever. I'm impressed. Want a medal? You think that's the only secret here? Aw, you're so cute. I am very cute and demure. But I think I go Mimir. Dormouse is here, and then... I feel like there's something else. Deer! What the fuck? Hi, Owl. Still around? Planning to settle here? I'm not, but, you know, whatever. Hold on, I need to go follow the deer real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, gang. I gotta follow it. To say, can I go this way? But seems like I cannot. Yeah, seems like I can't go this way, but that's fine. That's the thing, like, it was back there. I don't know what happened, but... I don't know. Actually, nah. Let me see. Oh no, not that. Okay, so there's nothing about that. Alright, let's go. I feel like for each of the times we faint, we might get a little bit more information about what's going on. And that's just a guess. You were lavender. She killed you. Have you tried rethinking things from the beginning? Without missing anything, with a fresh look. Sometimes, what seems pointless at first glance hides the greatest truths. Huh. Let me think about this. Rethinking things? From like first glance? Oh my god! 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 Hey! Hey! I finally figured it out because I'm not stupid. Hey! Oh, thank you for the daily, honey. I love you. figured it out. You were Lavender. The old lady killed you with the axe. Really? So something else killed you. Something else killed you, so it wasn't... So I got all the cards, so it's not like there's... Do you like the interior decoration? I think it was my favorite activity. You were truly complimentary. Strength and dexterity, will and intelligence. It was perfect. Okay, so... Okay, let's say it wasn't you. It's Violet's favorite weapon. It might not seem like it, but these two were the best warriors in the region. They have plenty of enemies, but no one could even compete. Only to die in such a stupid way. It pisses me off just thinking about it. Dude, it's something else. I know it's something else. It has to be. Okay, so. I got all the cards. Seemingly. I wonder if since I got all the cards, I could probably figure that thing out right there. Because maybe I just need to look in there. And there's something that can help me? Maybe? Huh. Think. Because I did try. Wait. Let me come back to that. Aren't they beautiful? They're soft, they smell good, and when they fall into your head, they don't shatter your skull because they're squishy. Oi! Get out of here. I'm trying to figure this out. Let me... You like Rosehip. I'm gonna let you come out real quick. Rose hip. It's not from Rose hip. I'm quite shy. My dad told me never talk to strangers. It's a shame he's no longer here to talk about it. I don't know. So we know there was a dead dormouse in the back. And we know that was definitely Violet that killed her. Not killed her, killed the dormouse that's back there. Let me see. So maybe... Where's the frog thing? There it is. Oh, wait a minute. Because she was getting mad at the owl statue. You were Lavender. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Cinema? Oh, you're so pretty. Little one, forgive me for being harsh with you. I wasn't myself. Thanks to you now, I'm at peace. Oh. I think you're right. My memories are hazy, but I am Lavender. I died some years ago. A dormouse threw a statue at my head. What an awful fate. Lavender? Lavender, is that really you? How is this possible? I thought I would never see you again. Aww. I haven't been able to maintain the garden. Everything's a mess without you. And also, the whole village thinks I killed you. Now I feel bad, because I was just suspecting her the whole fucking time. How could I do such a thing? Only the owls still tolerate my company. I miss you so much, my love. They're gay? Let's go! Violet, don't worry. Thanks to this little Carimara, the nightmare is over. Her lover, dude. Dude, this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. Aww. Aww, that's so cute. You're perfect. I'm with you now. And I will haunt you forever. Aww. Kiss! Yeah! The power of homosexuals! Woo! That was incredibly short. That is insane. Thanks to my mother for the photos I took in her garden, which were used to create many of the plants in the game. Thanks to my father for the photo of his hand, which was used to make the skin of the toads and characters. I discovered Normandy folklore thanks to Benoit Revueur's blog, which taught me about the existence of Calimari sorcerers, goblins, Furols, and Minorains. It really inspired me. Huge thanks to Critical Reflex believing me in my game. That is so cute! What a cute game. I do want to go back, because there was one thing, although this is incredibly short. Oh, look at him! Oh my god! Thank you for playing Carimara to the end. I put a lot of love into it and I loved spending time on every detail and secrets in it. I'd like to do other little episodes if this one is successful enough. Don't hesitate to follow me to find out about my next projects. If you've seen a game on stream or on video and liked it, don't hesitate to buy it anyway to show your support. It costs about the same as a good sandwich. Together again at last. Exactly. It's so cute. Take care. Okay. That's really cute. I do want to see because there was that tower in the back. There was that tower in the back and I do want to try to figure that out. So I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to see about that tree real quick. Yeah, I just want to be able to figure out the that part. The big old thing in the back, which I'm sure we'll figure out after a couple cycles. Let me see. Cuz that's the thing about it, right? Cuz this is really cute. But I feel like I want to, because if there are secrets, I want to discover shit, okay? Collect cards. Okay. Oh, is that hydrate time? I believe it's hydrate time. Here, hold on. Alright. Yummy. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to go this way. Rosehip. Shed. Fuck. Anyway. Hi. Well, it kind of already... Okay, hold on. I've never seen gameplay like this before. It's super neat, right? It's genuinely gas as fuck. Okay, here, hold on. So, now that we kind of know shit, right? This is perfect. Okay. We are essentially speed running now. Oh, wait, hold on. Gimme. Perfect. Yeah, I'm essentially speed running, motherfucker. Is there multiple endings? I actually don't know if there's multiple endings. Apparently there are secrets, and I need to find them. Hi, Dormouse. Okay. Let me see. Oh, shit. Here we go. Okay. So. This side might be open. Is it? Is it? Yes, it is. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Okay. Let's see. Alright. And then it was... And then I think it was just these statues, like, in the cellar that we also needed to get. And then I think that was all the cards. I'll look right now in case that's not it. Oh, wait. And then the Forelorn. I love how unique the color gets, too. Yeah, no, it's kind of grungy. But I kind of like that it's grungy, too. And statues, there we go. But yeah, I really like that it's actually kind of grungy. Because it feels like that's like a really nice aesthetic. Oh. Oh! Hello. Okay. I go exploring. I go exploring. It feels like it's getting smaller and I'm scared. What the fuck? Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Huh. No? Claustrophobia for real. No, literally. That shit's so fucked up. Carimara? Bag dolls? Shed? Key? Ow? Anything? Statue? Wooden statues? Death? No. Okay. Oh! Hey. I thought she was gonna mog me. Forget it. Forget it! Your role isn't here. It was just a bad dream. Go back to sleep. Everything is fine. Oh, hell no. Dude. What are you waiting for? Just go in the cellar. No, I don't like that. No, that was weird. I don't like that. Ew. I kind of... Okay, maybe we need something different. Maybe we need something different for that part. Okay, maybe we need something different for that part then? Like, we need to get more stuff. I'm guessing is what that is. Like, we probably need to get, like, something else, like, for the cards in order to do that, I think. It is a half moon right now. Hi, Owl. Hello, Owl. Well, I'm not trying to settle here. Now, okay. So, her name is Violet. This is Lavender. What the fuck was... Yeah, I know her name. I know her name. What the fuck was your name? Because you had a name too. I just don't remember for the life of me what it was right now. Okay. Here, you tell me what it is. So you always stay near our house. Pansy! Pansy, that's your name. Your name is Pansy. Okay. Why did she do that? No, literally, why did she do that? She fucking mogged me. What the hell? Okay, so I'm gonna go down to go see the Forelorn again. Because one, I think I need the card, and two, should help us, I think. It's a creme, and then it was this way. Then it was the frog. Oi. Hi, little one. Can you understand me? I don't know why I'm here. Yeah, I don't need to answer your question yet. Don't... Excuse me. Excuse me. But... What in the fuck? Like, I'm so sorry. What the fuck? That was... What if we didn't get all the cards? Is there more that we have to get? Because, I mean, okay, it said we got all the cards, but I feel like we could be looking... Oh. It's me again. Anyway. What was it saying? Oh, yeah. I feel like there's more cards for me to get. But I need to look around and find them. You need to quit fucking following me, you absolute creep. Stop it. Damn it. Okay. Let me go mimir. I go mimir. Go to see, little baby. Go to see, go got time for you. I'm a comedian. I don't know if you guys knew that. Damn it. Get, nope. Nope. Okay. Now, I'm gonna try something. Because the door that was right here, the door had flowers on it. It has flowers on it. We know 3 of the characters' names are related to flowers, so I'm gonna try something real quick. This is lavender. This is violet. This is pansy. Why you scream like that? Oh my god. Okay. That was not freaky at all. Sure. Okay. Oh. Hello. Lavender. Violet. Time has never been able to erode, neither your weapons nor your love. May you, despite this well-deserved rest, never forget the reason why you are here. The cathedral is buried for a good reason. Liunia's envoy must not see the light again. Remember this always. Huh. What the fuck? I feel like a princess up here. Can I jump up and get stuff from up here? No? Okay. Whee! Okay. Go back this way. Alright, and then... let's go back to sleep again. I was saying something about the light. That is a very large moon. Can I ask you about the letter? Is it edible? Oh, okay. No, never mind. Anyway. Let me try going Mimir again. Because it said something about light. I feel like I have an idea on what that has to do with, but I don't know if it's fully... Oh, almost. Because I have a feeling that it's the moon, but I need to go to sleep again. Mimir. Go to the... Oh. Full moon. Okay. I thought so. Big stretch. Oh my god. Okay. Hey. Where's she at? There she is. That one. That one. That one. Okay. Because I've been wanting to get to where the deer are too, because I want to pet them. So let's try up here. Oh! Deer! Deer! Hi. Damn it. Damn it. Oh. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, at least I can get up. Well, not really. That's a lot of birds. Ah. There we go. There we go. At least it's easy to get back, kind of. Ow. I'm trying to figure out, like, what else I want to do. Just before I go and, do the ending shit, I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. That might be good, actually, I think. We might be good. crane. Then frog. Now we're here. Hey, I figured it out. You were... Where the fuck are you? That was you. That's what killed you. There we go. I'm like, I remember this shit. Pretty sure, probably. Hi. You're so pretty. Cool. Oh, and now they're gonna be happy. It's gonna be so cute. Oh, and then they get to be gay again. And now they're gonna kiss. Yay! Alright. Oh my god. Okay. Now, is there anything here that I can... Oh, that's shining! Dude, that's shining! There we go! Anything else I can click on? No? Yay! Okay. Now I think that's the symbol that was right there. I didn't even notice that the first time. What the fuck? Okay. Throw around. Alright. So we'll go back. Our symbol. On, we use that symbol on the door. No, you should be good. I'm gonna have a little snack real quick. I'm gonna have a little snack. Will I still have that card, though? The one that I fucking got earlier? Or will it just, like, be like, no. No. You don't have it no more. And you suck. I do have it. Okay, nice. I don't have any questions. What I am gonna do, though, is go down here. Because there was a symbol on that door, and I need to find it. Frog. Oh, God, the claustrophobia, dude. Fuck my life. Oy. It's like generally feels so fucking cramped and I'm like, wait. What is it? Show me what it is! Show me now! Oh! What in the fuck? Altar. What the fuck? Door. Does he know about the DORE? The what? The door. Anything here that I can click on at all? Yeah, you can come over here and shush me. Yeah, go ahead and mog me. Okay. Shit. There we go. This. Shed. Oh, see me. Wait, where's the owl? I need you too. Hey. I need all the shit. And then it's Dormouse. Okay. Okay. At this point, it's just like a full blow. Oh! So even that counts too. I didn't even know that. Okay. Goodness. Let's see. What was that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to find a Forelorn real quick. So I can get the card. Don't jump scare me, Violet, please. I'm a weenie. Oh my god. Fucking nose. It's this way. What are you doing up there? Yeah, go back to your little house. Get out of here. Let me do my job. Okay. Hello, Al. Can I? Oh, I can't go in the chimney. What the fuck? Wanna go in the chimney? Ugh. Okay. No. Not what I need. Mimir. No. Not what I need. God, it's almost the full moon. There we go. I have that symbol, right? I do. Okay, leave. This way. Then this way. Okay. Oh. It's raining. Oh my god. Moon, please. Wait! You fool. What have you done? Do you have any idea how terrible this is? I don't. I should have guessed. This day was bound to come. Lavender, I joined you earlier than expected. Huh? What? I wish you were still here. What? Perhaps together, just as before, we could have held her back. Until the very end, I failed. What are we talking about? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that earlier. No, yeah, it was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh no! What is happening? Large moon. Massive moon. She is free. But who's? Leunia's envoy. Oh. Tyranne's murderer. Exhumed from the crypt of Forelorn Limbs? Lunaria. Oh. Aren't you a tall drink of water? Damn! Damn! I volunteer. I don't know what for, but I volunteer. Oh, that's it? Okay. Was that the bad ending? Oh, I thought I could click on more shit real quick. Huh. What the Sigma? That was kind of spooky. What in the skibbity? Okay. That's enough. That was really cringe. I apologize. That was awful. Okay. I think we have everything, but let's go back. I'm gonna see. Let me see. What else do we want to play right now? Let me look at Steam. God damn. There's 2 more. Oh. I don't even know if that's possible. Okay, follow through the map the time. Those are 2 locked achievements. Gotcha. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. You know what? I like that a lot. That was a very good game. I'm actually gonna change this so that way it shows only my fucking window real quick. There we go. Now let me see. Boop, back here. Okay. So, since we have some time, we're gonna get a little bit ahead of ourselves real quick. And we're gonna do more of the Ghost of Alcantra. Let me load it up real quick. Or actually install it rather. Because I'm so silly and I totally remember to always download the games I want to do before stream. I totally remember that because I'm a pro gamer. Okay, can I just say I really liked the overall story for Carimara. Like I really did like it. It feels very and I feel like, God, you know what too? I feel like I think Calimari was one of the games that was like, I think it was like what's it, Summer Games Fest? It was one of those fucking it was one of those stream things. And I was like, oh my god. Fucking it was like a trailer or some shit. I forget where it was. I forget where it was shown exactly. I don't remember if it was like Summer Game Fest or like what. But I think Carimara was one of those games where I was like, the minute that shit drops, I want to play it. Cause like it looked that good to me. There we go. And I'm very glad I did, because this was so fucking worth the wait. Like, I'm being so for real. That shit was so worth the wait. But I'm gonna use the restroom real quick before we even get into the Ghost of Alcantra. I'm gonna use the restroom. I will be right back. I guess sit tight, grab some food. I'm gonna be here a while. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let me go ahead and load up Ghost of Alcantra real quick. Here we go. No, it should be good. Actually, I don't like that. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now we are loading from here. The next morning, I woke up with a clear head, embarrassed by what I had said yesterday. Was I really talking about whisking her away unironically? Even my parents weren't that bad. That said, my newfound rationality wasn't going to stop me from being in love with her. It's futile to fight your heart. The chances we could be together were probably slim, but I was going to try anyway. After all, my parents were counting on me. I wonder if they feel the same way if they knew she was a daughter of the Thorns. I mean, at this point, does it really matter, though? I mean, I don't... I went to meet Alexandra like usual. I arrived at our meeting spot 20 minutes early. For once, she wasn't there yet. I guess it was a first for everything. I sat down on the bench over the gazebo and waited for her, trying to think of a witty thing to say in reference to me arriving before her. 10 minutes before our meeting time, and she still hadn't arrived. Then it was the time we had arranged to meet at, and she still wasn't here. Dude, did she get got? I wasn't particularly worried yet. I was used to Warburton showing up late all the time. Still, it was very unlike Alexandra. 30 minutes passed, and then an hour, and she still wasn't here. I was beginning to get a little worried. Unfortunately, I had no way to contact her since I couldn't call to Thorn Mansion without giving away that I knew she was a Thorn. After 2 hours had passed, I conceded that she probably wasn't going to come. But I still sat on the bench anyway, hoping I was wrong. I gave up at 6 p.m. There was no way Alexandra would ghost me on purpose. The most likely explanation was that she just couldn't come today. Maybe she was sick. If something was up, I just hoped she could contact me somehow. Of course, the other explanation was that her family had decided to lock her up again, but from what Alexandra told me, it seemed like she was confident that she was going to get her freedom for good. Was that a front? I didn't want to consider it a possibility because I couldn't do much in that scenario if it actually happened. For now, I'd like to get advice from the older people in my life. When I returned home, I let my parents know that Alexandra didn't show up. My mom immediately started blaming herself. I knew we should have gone for a roast instead of a casserole. Cordelia, the casserole was excellent. But it's just so plain. Guys, I doubt she's avoiding me because of yesterday. Yes, you're right, honey. I'm sure it's nothing. Probably just caught a cold. Your mother's right, Nick. Probably just a cold. If you keep going to your meeting place, I'm sure she'll show up in the next couple of days. My dad huffed afterwards, though. Wish she'd have given you a phone number, though. I knew she was a little too mysterious. I'm sure she has her reasons, Howard. Yeah, she does. Your uncle is coming back tonight. I'm sure she's fine, but maybe he'd know a way to get in touch to make sure she's doing okay. Ugh. See, about that. I don't know how he'd do that without an address or name. My dad shrugged. I just sort of expect him to know what to do. Uncle Kyle was busy anyway. I was probably worrying for nothing. I was overreacting. People didn't show up for meetings all the time. It was pretty impressive that we had made it more than a month without either of us missing a meeting. It was really just a matter of time. I phoned Warburton, Terrence, and Jerry. I asked them if they had seen Alexandra. None of them had seen her, though they promised me they'd keep an eye out. Relax, Nick. I know you like her a lot, but don't overreact. I'm sure it's nothing. It was frustrating because I couldn't reveal to anyone why I was so worried. Everyone thought I was overreacting but I knew there was a possibility that she was being locked up in a Thorn mansion and not allowed out. Did they find out she told me about her being a Thorn? If so, you'd think they would immediately confront me about it. I would have almost been relieved about the idea if there wasn't a possibility that being murderers hanging over my head. Uncle Kyle returned later that evening. I let him know what was going on. He brushed aside my concerns. Nick, it's only been a day. It's been only a day. I'm sure she just got sick, though it's unfortunate you can't check up on her. Besides, without a name or residency or phone number, we can't do much of a search anyway. He gave me a sympathetic look and then continued. Listen, if there's no word of her around town for a couple of days, I'll try to do something. So keep your head up, Nick. I nodded. I stared at the wall, thinking of what I'd do if it turned out to be the case that her family had locked her away. Could I do anything? I'd have to tell someone, probably Uncle Kyle. Then, could he do something? I wasn't sure he would. Or could, The following morning, my parents were quite cheerful when I came down for breakfast. When I sat down, they handed me an envelope that was addressed from Alexandra. I looked it over for a return address. There wasn't one. I figured that would be the case to avoid exposing Alexandra as a thorn. I was immediately suspicious. This wasn't Alexandra's style. She'd only send a letter if that was her absolutely only way of getting in contact with me. Was this in a mailbox? No, just left outside the door. But I'm sure she just asked someone to drop it off rather than spend money on mailing it. I opened the envelope from Alexandra. Inside was an explanation. It went, Dear Nick, I'm sorry the news has to reach you this way, but I had to suddenly leave Alcantra for a family emergency. Please try to understand. I do not know when I'll be able to return to Alcantra. Tell Warburton, Terrence, and Jerry that I had a great time hanging out with them, and that I'm sorry I couldn't say goodbye. I had a great time with you as well, Nick. I look forward to seeing you again someday. Alexandra. I read the letter twice, once in shock and then again in disgust. I tossed the letter towards my parents, who read it and then immediately began trying to console me. I didn't listen to them. I might have been heartbroken if I believed for a minute that the letter was written by Alexandra. Unless she was the greatest actress in the world, I had to have meant something to her. This letter was so impersonal. I was barely an afterthought. Additionally, there was no way Alexandra could leave the area given what I knew about her. No, I knew what was really going on. You got cucked. That's what fucking happened. My god. Her father must have reversed his decision about her freedom and had this letter sent as an excuse. Oh, okay, well, or that too. My mother was nearly in tears with her hands on my shoulder, telling me that she just knew Alexandra would come back. She told me that she was so sorry for me and how hard it must have been. My dad was trying to tell me about stories he'd heard about family emergencies and how sudden they could be, but I didn't listen to them. I brushed aside my mom's hands and gave her a simple thanks and went to call Warburton. I called up Warburton and gave him the news. I asked him if he could tell the others. Man, I don't even know what to say. I cut him off. Don't worry about it, man. I'm so sorry, dude. I know how much you liked her, but don't give up hope. She might come back. I know she really liked you, dude. You hear that? There's no way she'd leave without a good reason, so don't you give up hope. I thanked her for the kind words and hung up. I knew Warburton was right. I know Alexandra liked me a lot. I don't know if she loved me like I loved her, but I knew she wouldn't just up and leave. No, my lack of hope was because to get her back in my life didn't depend on her. It depended on two other thorns. The realization caused my heart to sink. My parents gave me some space that evening, which I appreciated. I spent the evening by myself in my room. I had always known that there was some risk of heartbreak with her. I knew the moment I realized I was in love with her. But man, I didn't think heartbreak would be so soon. All those cheesy things I said to her a couple of nights ago, they were cheesy, but I meant them. I really would take her away from the thorns if she wanted me to. Now I might never know what she wanted me to do. I glared at my reflection from the mirror in my room. I'm an idiot. I thought I knew the real Alexandra, that I was so special to her that she must have shown me a side that she didn't show anyone else. I believed that I was bringing out her true self, that I was a good influence on her. I only thought about what I was adding to her life and not enough about the actual troubles in her life. Let's face it, there was so much I didn't know about Alexandra. I only knew her on a surface level, what she really wanted, what she really desired, how she thought about life, what she wanted from our relationship. I knew nothing about that. I looked at a rose and ignored all the thorns. There was a whole side of her life that she didn't tell me about, and I proceeded to act like I was the one in the world who knew her best. I wouldn't let this stop me from trying to see her again. This wasn't goodbye for good, but it was still a fresh realization. But because let's face it, I'm an idiot. I had forgotten that Alexandra was a mystery, and there was a part of her I didn't know. Don't know now, and maybe never will. I spent the rest of the evening depressed and went to bed that way. I racked my brain going through the potential possibilities of what I could do to meet Alexandra again, and I had to come up with nothing better than storming the front gate and asking to see her. It's said that in times like these, you should follow your heart. Unfortunately, my heart didn't know what to do. My brain's best idea was to just forget the whole thing. I ignored my brain. I couldn't just move on like that. While trying to think of what I could do for Alexandra, I ended up falling asleep feeling miserable. Thunk, thunk, thunk. What was that noise? It sounded like something hitting my window. Strange. I couldn't hear any rain, and it definitely wasn't hailing outside. I groggily removed the covers and tottered over to the window. I didn't see anything on the ledge. I opened up the window, and a gust of the night air enveloped me, helping me wake up. I looked down, and then I saw her, standing outside the entrance to my house with a small rock in her hand and a big grin on her face. I blinked a couple of times to make sure I wasn't asleep, then stared back at her in disbelief. Who could blame me for thinking I was dreaming? How else could such a cliché come true? Fortunately, I wasn't dreaming. A couple moments passed, but she just kept looking up with that grin, obviously amused by my reaction. She put a finger to her mouth in a shushing gesture. I got it. She didn't want to wake my parents up, though she had taken a pretty big risk with throwing rocks at my window. She must have been able to figure out which room was mine based on my mom's comments yesterday. Oh. Hello, Von Lycon. Hello, Von Lycon. Also, hi, baby. I gave her a thumbs up and headed back to my room. I quickly changed out my pajamas and checked the time. It was nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't walk out the front door since my parents' bedroom was on the first floor. I'd have to go out the window. As it was only the second floor, I'd easily be okay with a drop if I was careful. I headed to the window and leaned myself out of it, positioning myself carefully on the roof. I waddled along the edge of the roof and then turned around so I could lower myself down. I slowly shuffled myself off the roof, holding onto the ledge with my feet dangling. I let go and landed with a quiet thud. Getting back wouldn't be too hard as long as I could find something to step onto reach the edge of the roof. There had to be something in the yard I could use, but Alexandra came first. I had a million questions for her, but more than anything, I was just happy to see her again. I turned towards Alexandra and she tackled me with a hug. I smiled. I felt the same way. I put my arms around her too and held her close. We stood there with our arms around each other for a while. That's so cute. That's really cute. Okay, I like this. Alexandra, what? Shh. She put a finger to her lips and shushed me. She grabbed my hand and mouthed, "Follow me." We walked in silence as we left my neighborhood together. Once we were out into the main road, she pulled us into a trail in the woods. I wish I had thought to bring a flashlight, but as the thought entered my head, Alexandra reached into her pocket and pulled one out. It was a small one, but it would do. I leaned in to whisper in her ear. "Do you know where we're going?" She nodded. I took a look at the maps of the area. We're going to a clearing on a hill pretty close to where I live. It's about time I did something for you for a change. I had no idea what that meant. I still had my million questions to ask her, but I figured she'd just shush me again. I let her take the lead. After walking through the forest trail for about 10 minutes, she said in a normal tone, "Okay, I think we can talk now." I wasted no time. "So do you want to explain what's going on?" "I came to see you, and now we're going to see the stars." "We are?" "Yep." We walked in silence a bit more. I guess she didn't want to address the obvious, but I needed answers. Okay, let me rephrase that. Would you like to explain why you didn't show up to our meeting time, what the letter was about, and why you abducted me at 3 o'clock in the morning? She looked over at me. "I did not abduct you. You climbed out your window on your own." She sighed and stopped in her tracks. I stopped with her. Sorry. It's complicated. You probably figured out what happened. My father decided to go back on his decision. Oh, 'cause of course he did! Fuck my stupid baka life, dude. That's what I was afraid of. I'm guessing you didn't write the letter? No, I didn't. A member of the staff probably wrote it. He asked me to do it, but I refused. She started walking again, quickening her pace like she wanted us to move past this topic. I snuck out of the house because I wanted to see you. We don't have too much time till the people in the mansion started getting up. I just wanted to show you one thing before we decide about us. I watched her back in silence for a couple of moments and then jogged to catch up. Did your dad give you a reason? He said that it was too dangerous for the family for me to be out given the investigation. People would start asking questions. The longer I was at it, I became more familiar in the town. I mean, okay. Oh no, this is the game with that D1 crash out? Yeah, it is. That is that one, honey. Is that it? That's it. What could I even say to that? A stupid reason like that had been enough to lock her up? I was glad she wanted to see me, but I still had so much to ask. Alexandra, she cut me off. Stop. We had done this before. We had done this routine before, back when she had told me about her family. Given how much I learned at the time, I figured I might as well start listening. I should do most of the talking tonight. She was no longer looking at me and determinedly staring straight ahead. I followed a step behind her. The leaves and branches crinkled beneath her feet. I already told you about my family and how I was brought up. I told you it was rough. I'll spare you the details of what being locked up in a mansion does to a person, but I was lonely. I was sad. My whole life was just so stagnant, like it never moved forward at all. Days, weeks, months, years passed, and nothing changed for me. My father, my brother, the staff, everyone was so superficially nice to me. I had everything you could seemingly want. Any book, item, toy, just a word and I could have it. But I had nothing I really, truly desired. I didn't have any friends. I couldn't play with others. I couldn't discuss books with others. 'Cause you didn't have any friends. You were homeschooled. I never gone to a store. I never gone to a restaurant or a cafe. I couldn't dream. I couldn't love. Alexandra, stop. She turned to face me. You're not real good at this listening thing, are you? She shook her head a little sadly. I doubt I ever really wanted to die, but I certainly wasn't interested in living. I just sort of existed for 18 years. An empty husk of a human raised to be an heiress to a family she wasn't really a part of. Eventually, the day came where I got to have a taste of freedom. Just a taste, mind you, but still, a taste. Man, she pissed me off, bro. Baby, shut up. Baby, shut up. She's fine. Listen, she's sheltered and she's misunderstood. Therefore, we should like her, okay? Be nice. You're so silly. Oh. She reached out and grabbed my hand like she had when we first started walking tonight. Then I met you. That was my first night away from the mansion. Well, you know the rest of that story. For the first time in my life, I really lived. The things we did together. Going to cafes, walking along the canal front. Oh, shit. Going to Walmart. They may be nothing to you, but they were everything to me. She squeezed my hand. My father, he told me that my taste of freedom was over. It's more complicated than that, and I can't give you the details. Please, believe me, it's for your own good, but the end result was that I wasn't allowed to go out anymore. He had that letter written to you and had a staff member deliver it as an excuse for why I'm gone. No one besides us knows that you know but Thorn. I started to open my mouth again, but she covered it with her other hand, the one that wasn't holding my hand. I said I'd do the talking, dummy. She took her hand off my mouth with a small, sad little smile. Anyway, once I had a taste of freedom, once I got to know you, there was no way I could go back to my previous life. And as soon as the arrangements were made for locking me up again, I made plans to escape. They locked my suite on the 4th floor of the mansion. It was a little bit of work to get out. Wasn't that really dangerous? Very. Are you going to be okay? She shrugged. If I don't get caught. Alexandra, if you're in danger, then I don't know. You're worth it to me. Okay, this is cute. Alright. Okay. Alright. I stopped in my tracks, taking in what she said. I wasn't worth that risk. She didn't stop and kept walking forward, forcing me to start moving again lest I break the contact between our hands. I understand if you don't want me to keep risking things on your account, or if you don't want me to bother you anymore. But hold on to that thought. There's a bit of a silver lining for us. She took a hesitant deep breath. I snuck out and I have a plan to sneak back in. I ran to your place and threw the rocks at your window because I needed to see you at least one more time to decide about us, and because you deserve to know what was going on. The silver lining is that I got a deal with my father. If the deal works out, I'll have my freedom again and more. Much more. You won't have to hide who I am anymore. We'd be with each other, no questions asked. A deal? Don't tell me. Alexandra, you can't make a deal with your father. If it's about the murders, it's not about murder. She snapped at me. We still held hands, but her hand felt like a vice grip because she was squeezing so hard. I kept quiet. She spoke again, softer this time. It's not about the murders, I promise. Vlad is the murderer, I'm sure of it. My father and I, neither of us have nothing to do with them. The deal has nothing to do with murder. Please believe me. Was I just gonna take her word for it? I had to. My feelings were far too strong to not want to believe what she told me. Okay, I trust you. Thank you, Nick. This deal, or wherever it was, it sounded too good to be true. I mean, here we were slinking around the forest in the wee hours of the morning because her family forbade her from leaving, and she was telling me that soon we wouldn't have to worry about hiding who she was. Why all the risk to see me if this was going to change soon? Can we not wait until then? Or was something else going on? Alexandra, are you sure that you wouldn't rather just stay with my parents and I? We tell them and my uncle who you are. We tell lots of people. Then the Thorns can't risk doing anything to us. They have to acknowledge you or just ignore you. You could be free that way. She kept walking in silence for a while before she glanced over at me with a smile. I'd love to do that if I could, but don't underestimate my father and brother. They would take as many as they could with them if I thought they were going down, and my existence is something that could take them down. I can't risk you or your family. Also, there's something else I can't run from. Please believe me. That really wasn't what I wanted to hear, but I had no doubt about her feelings. She was either playing me for the greatest sucker alive, or she cared about me so much that she had to see me at whatever cost. I was willing to gamble on the risk of the first option, if it meant the possibility of the second. I repeated just what I had said a little bit ago. Okay, I trust you. She gave my hand a squeeze in response. Up ahead, you could see a trail lead to a clearing, which must be where Alexandra was leading us towards. She did say that we were going to see the stars. She started pulling me along quicker. She turned around to face me. Her face had a look I'd never seen on her before. It was a mixture of happiness, longing, and sadness. Maybe it was just that I was what I was hoping for. But I thought it might look like the face of someone looking at the person they loved. I could look at that face forever. I know English. You're always doing things for me, Nick. You took me to the fireworks, to the cafe, to the library, to Walmart. We met your friends and family. You opened up my whole world. Granted, it's Alcantra, so a small world, but to someone whose world was just one house and one yard, well, even Alcantra seems huge. She let go of my hand and took off running, and I had to start running to keep up with her. When you invited me to the fireworks, my whole life changed that night, and for the better. I might end up being the worst thing to ever happen to you. I'm a Thorn. I know what my family is like. I know it won't be easy for us to be together, but no matter what happens, you'll always be the best thing to ever happen to me. We burst into the clearing. Why is she running, though? Look! This is why, baby! We burst into the clearing. The whole world seemed to open up before us like Alexandra's words had spoken into existence. Dozens of stars, a barrage of lights cheered for our arrival. She bounded ahead a few steps on the clearing on top of the hill and spread her arms out, the night sky and the stars behind her. We were two more stars who had just arrived on stage. Alexandra told me to let her do the talking tonight, but I wasn't sure I could talk even if I wanted to now. I was breathless, taking in the night sky. I lived in Alcantra all my life. I had seen the stars here before. They had never been like this. The hill, the atmosphere, or maybe it was because it was Alexandra I was seeing them with. Whatever the reason was, it made the world look beautiful. I finally managed to take my eyes off the stars to look over at Alexandra, who was looking back at me. The sparkle in her eyes glowed just as bright and as beautiful as the stars. You've done so much for me, and I've done nothing for you. As I am now, I don't have much to offer. All I could give you were the feelings of my heart. Corny ass. So here they are. These are my feelings for you, Nick. As deep as the night sky, as bright as the glow of the stars. But corny! Corny! I looked at her with her arms spread, her feelings bared. Alexandra, I feel the same. I forgot all about our current predicament. There was only here and now, Alexandra and I under the stars. It was a moment that would pass, but I knew this moment would live on in both Alexandra and me. The only difference between a moment and an eternity is the perspective you hold towards them. Oh, and it's water time. Nah, she a cornball. Yeah, that's kinda corny, but I like it. Our most precious moments become forever. I started forward to step into her arms, but a sly smile appeared on Alexandra's face and she held up a finger against my lips. How many times was this now? Don't ruin it, Nick. This is my big moment. The less you say, the more I can dream. All the possibilities of the death of your love for me still exist. It's cute. No, it is really cute. This is really cute. I took her finger off my lips. Kind of unfair to me, don't you think? She nodded and turned her back towards me as she faced the stars. I know this whole thing is unfair, but when we met, I couldn't let you know about me. When I told you who I was, you had to keep that a secret. Being with me is unfair to you, and I'm sorry. I never thought it was unfair. Even if it was, I didn't care. I'm no good with words anyway. I stepped forward and held her from behind. After a moment, she reached her arms out behind her and grabbed my head and gently brought it down onto her shoulder. Then she leaned her head against mine. We stayed like that for a while. Eventually, she broke away from me, grabbed my hands facing the front this time, and said cheerfully, "All right, business time." I was very confused. Business time? Business time. This was a business trip, after all. Really, I couldn't tell from the corniness. A business trip. I repeated it back at her, even more confused. She laughed. We still have things to discuss. I did say I'd let you talk at the end. Well, it's getting close to dawn, so we better hurry things up. Yes, this was a business trip about you and I. I just had some other events planned as well. That was an understatement. So what business do we have? Business about you and me. I told you that I had to make a deal with my father for my freedom. I don't know how long it'll take, hopefully no more than 2 or 3 weeks at the most. Can you wait that long? I nodded. I could wait forever. Perfect. But I know how used you are to having me around. I bet you fell to pieces without me around. I sure did. She blushed a little at that. Well, I feel the same way. Every moment in this life is precious, and as someone who has had most of her life wasted, I'm not wasting any more. You never know when the end will come. On the off chance that something goes wrong, I want to have spent my time with you. So, my business proposal was that we continue our meetings, just at nighttime, because we can't let people know about me being out of the mansion. So instead, we could do this, romantic rendezvous thing. I laughed. You definitely read too many books. Talk about a cliche. Shut up! Oh, shut up and give me an answer. I nodded at her. Sure thing. But if anything goes wrong, I'm busting you out of the Thorn Mansion. I don't care what it takes. Deal? I stuck out my hand, just like old times. She smiled back at me and shook my hand. Deal. So, now that we're doing our Romeo and Juliet thing, are we going to keep having you throw rocks in my window? Seems a little risky. No, and we'll want to avoid our usual spot since it's so close to town. Actually, I brought you here for more than just the pretty stars. I brought you here so that you know this place because I was hoping to meet here. Fuck. It's kind of close to my place, so I know this makes it a pain for you. You don't make it easy to be with you. I know, and I already told you that. You're the idiot for not listening. Baby, it's like you! It's kind of a pain to get in and out with my escape route from my room. I'll need some time to do it, so a location close to me would be for the best. Okay, meeting here is fine. At what time? How about at midnight? We should probably be splitting up around 4. Sounds like a plan. I'll just sleep through the day. I'm supposed to be depressed that you're out of my life anyway. Oi! Hey! No, but it is true! No, but it is you! I don't want to hear it! I checked my watch. Speaking of 4, it's just before. Fuck. Yeah, we better go then. I was reluctant to say goodbye after what we had went through tonight together, but I knew we really had to hurry and pull the stunt off. I brushed it off earlier, but I really would need to figure out a way to get back onto the roof of my house. It would be embarrassing to screw things up for us because of that. Alexandra gave me a serious look. One last time, just so you're sure about this. Being with me won't be easy. It's risky for both of us. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Nick. But, well, I wasn't kidding about the whole deep as the night sky and bright as the stars thing. You mean that much to me, and, well, I had to at least try. Like I said, I'm no good with words, but if I was, I would have confessed to you in as dramatic a fashion. I was thinking of telling you how I felt at the Strawberry Festival. Strawberries aren't as dramatic as stars. Shows what do you know? You've never had these strawberries. My love is like the stars in the sky, and your love is like strawberries. What, cheap and sweet? I wasn't going to confess while we ate strawberries. I was going to do it during the fireworks, so my love could be, like, exciting, bright, and very loud? Who's going to hear a confession during fireworks? You, if I yelled. That'd be dramatic then. Dramatically embarrassing? I'm not worth that display of public awkwardness. Yeah, you are. She smiled at me. If she knew what every smile of hers did to me, she'd have no doubts about the depth of my feelings. I was a little jealous that she got to confess first. I decided I'd get a shot in there too. I leaned over and kissed her on the cheek. Sweet dreams, princess. I started to head off, but she laughed to grab my hand, blushing furiously. We're going the same way for a while, but nice try. So, blushing furiously myself, I let her lead us back to the trail from where we had come. July 11th. I didn't have any trouble getting back to my room since I used a wheelbarrow that was left down the front lawn as a step hold to get back onto the roof. Hopefully, my parents wouldn't wonder why the wheelbarrow changed locations during the night. Thankfully, both my parents and Uncle Kyle are heavy sleepers, so they didn't hear me kicking our house as I hoisted myself onto the roof. I plopped back into my bed, far too excited to sleep and already thinking about tomorrow night. Is that how he lives? Yeah, probably. Probably does. We are coming up on ads in about 10 seconds, but if you're on Twitch and you want to skip those, feel free to sub to the channel. I'll see you guys after ads. Alright, now we're going to continue. Eventually, I went to sleep and woke up in the middle of the afternoon, where I bided my time till nightfall and made my way out of the house from the rooftop again. That kicked off the most magical week of my life. The murders? An afterthought. My friends and family? I had lots of excuses about how depressed I was. Sleeping? Not doing much of that. I was a zombie 20 hours of the day. I only lived between midnight and 4 a.m. At least that's what it felt like, and it was wonderful. The toughest part was trying to act depressed during the day. I had to pretend I was heartbroken around others when I was having the most fun of my life. I'm no good at acting, so I mostly kept to myself cooped up in my room reading Emma and To Kill a Mockingbird. I smuggled coffee into my room to help me stay awake till midnight. I also brought a flashlight to make nighttime walking a little easier. My only worry was Uncle Kyle because he sometimes returned home a little late at night. I had to be careful. But he was so tired when he came back that as long as I didn't do anything particularly stupid while leaving, he would probably be easy to avoid. Probably. I don't know, dude. Fuck my stupid bucket life, I guess. Then when midnight came, I was racing into the night to see Alexandra. It used to be me showing her Alcantra during the day. Now she showed me Alcantra at night. Alexandra determined that she would be the guide. She liked studying maps and then marking locales she thought would be interesting. We mostly stayed outside the residential part of town. We meet at the clearing on the hill near her place, and then we go trekking into the woods to the next spot she had determined would be romantic enough for our midnight roaming. My favorite location she picked was an abandoned farm that was a great place to view fireflies. She was being a nerd about the whole thing. This is amazing! You know, we're really lucky we got to see this. The species around here mostly glow at dusk. I wonder why they're glowing so late. Just putting on a romantic show for us. Actually, the glow is for trying to attract mates, so they're really doing the same thing as us right now. Are you comparing us to bugs? We're just as small and insignificant as they are. You really love your romantic lives, don't you? Sometimes we just sat on the hill where we met and talked while looking up at the stars. We talk about Emma and To Kill a Mockingbird, and I did my best to keep up with Alexandra's analyses. She never played easy with me, and I appreciated that about her. Just because I wasn't as well read as her doesn't mean that I had to be dumb. Whether it was teasing or being serious, I always had to be a little bit on my toes with her. I liked that. They say that being in a relationship is about being comfortable, and it was with her, but it was never complacent. It made every interaction, silly or serious, meaningful. We'd also talk about ourselves. Alexandra didn't like talking about her past much, which was understandable. So we spent a lot of time telling her about my childhood in Alcantra, how I met Walbert and Terrence, and some of the shenanigans we got up to. She always laughed at my stories. She got a particular kick from the story about the time Walbert wrote a love letter and put it in a girl's locker. A love letter? That's so cute. It was so stupid. This was just last year before his crush on Jenny. It was a girl who ran hurdles and track this time. She didn't like him at all. Don't be mean, Nick. It takes a lot of courage to put your feelings out there. Yeah, well, you know Warburton. When he does something, he goes all in. The letter was so over the top and flamboyant, the girl just laughed while reading it. She was going to share it with everyone, and he was going to look like the laughingstock of the school. So Terrence and I faked a fight to distract everyone. You what? Well, I say we faked the fight. We were actually throwing fists, so we faked a fight by fighting. You know how guys are. I don't think I do. Guys sound stupid. That's true. Anyway, once we had a big crowd around us, Warburton snatched back the letter from the girl and tore it up, tears all over his face. And who won the fight? I didn't see what that had to do with anything. Probably Terrence. Alexandra scoffed, unimpressed with me. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Still waiting on the loving part. I gave her a look, then decided it was best to ignore that. After Warburton tore up the letter, he gave a big speech in front of everyone about how great we were and how he would love us forever and that he'd swear off girls eternally. Then everyone gossiped that we were gay for the rest of the year. Oh, welcome back from ads, chat. Welcome back from ads. Alexandra laughed a lot at that. Sometimes I talked about some of my more personal feelings about things. I tried to tell her why I invited her to the fireworks, why I was such an optimist about human connection, though it always felt hollow when I said it out loud. It wasn't something you could easily talk about, but more something you lived. It's like, and Terrence doesn't understand this, that even though people are stuck in their own heads, literally, we managed to overcome that somehow. When I invited you to the fireworks, I knew I couldn't exactly show you what I saw, but I thought, well, that I managed to show you part of my world with those fireworks. Never mind, that was cheesy. Forget that. Alexandra laughed. I feel the same way. Remember the first time we went to downtown together? I told you that I loved the story of Alcantra. I think stories do the same thing you're describing. There are many ways to bridge the gap between people. She leaned in towards me. Hopefully, we managed to bridge the gap between us as well. It was romantic until she flicked me on the forehead. From your world to mine, from my world to yours. The doofus and the princess, the detective and her assistant. Two worlds collide. I rubbed my head. Sure that wasn't just your finger and my head colliding? Well, that too. Alexandra also introduced me to star tipping, which we would do on our meeting hill. She explained to me that star tipping was a game where you look up at a star and then spin it around as fast as you can while still looking at that star. After you do that, you wait 30 seconds. Then someone shines a light into your eyes. The person instantly gets knocked over, hence the tipping part of the game. We played our own version without the flashlight part. Then we lay on our backs laughing, looking at the stars while our heads thought we were still spinning. It was like falling upward into a sea of stars. Out of control, I spun faster and faster. I gripped Alexandra's hand tighter. I raced towards the night sky, shining, glimmering, dazzling. The lights raced back toward me. Running with you, talking with you, holding hands with you, and spinning with you. All the things we did came rushing back to me as we fell into those stars. And I fell deeper in love with you, Alexandra. Oh, we're back in the 90s. Alright. Crash out time. Everyone thought I was so good at running away. It was time to prove them right. Forget the murders of 87. Forget the murders of 97. Forget about the past. Forget about now. Forget about Detective Storm. Forget about the Ghost of Alcantra and forget dying. I'm getting out of here. I'm running away. I'm letting the people of Alcantra beat me. The insane torture they devised together worked. Either I took the permanent escape of death, or I took the less permanent escape of running away. I would try the latter first. If that didn't work out, then death was better than staying here. Heading east would probably be my best bet. There's a bigger town about 2 hours away by car that I could hide in. Oh god, he's tweaking. Yeah, he's tweaking again. No. I'll pack a bag with food and water and see if I can get there. Maybe I could get lucky and secure a ride via hitchhiking. I checked the house with Detective Storm, prepared for a fight, but she wasn't in. It looked like she had gone to work. I didn't know if she was really a detective, or if that was just a role she was playing to fool me. I'm going to run away, and no one is going to stop me. Just watch. She made me She made a mistake leaving me unsupervised. My most recent nightmare had pushed me over the edge and I was done with it all. There was no point in trying to make sense of the world. Of giving up. Who cares who I was? I would take this amnesia as an opportunity. I ran to Detective Storm's room and found a backpack. I emptied it out and ran downstairs. I filled the backpack with snacks and water from the fridge. I ran to the house, scavenging what I could. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any money beyond what she had given me already. Bro thinks he's the main character. Well, he kind of is the main character, babe. He kind of is the main character. In half an hour, I was out of the house. I didn't feel the slightest bit bad about stealing Detective Storm's stuff. She was just as bad as the rest of the townspeople, maybe even worse. I didn't have a plan in case someone tried to stop me, but fortunately nobody tried. Given the backpack, I couldn't run very fast, so I had to jog awkwardly. It would take a while to get out of here, and likely several days of walking to get to the town I was heading towards. I had enough food and water to last a couple of days, but I was going to have to figure out how to get money to survive once I reached my destination. I probably wasn't cut out for the living off the land entirely. Nobody stopped me, but they all looked at me. People were always looking at me in this damn town. They wanted to try and stop me. Aren't I your murderer? Can you not forgive me? What was the point of all your stupid games? All your attempts to drive me insane if you're just gonna let me waltz right out of here? But it was business as usual. The same suspicious glares and glances. Well, the games between us were over. Fuck them. I ignored their looks and kept making my way to the east exit of town. Was I really going to be able to survive? Probably not. The lack of practicality to what I was doing kicked in, but I didn't really care. The details were secondary to getting the fuck out of here. I just wanted to be free. Be free? Let's face it, I'll never be free. Eventually, I saw the edge of town marked by a sign. I wasn't happy with the time I was making. It had taken me a little over 45 minutes to get here. The rate I was going, I'd be dead before I even got halfway to my destination. I was going so slow that the police could have set up a barricade to stop me from leaving if they wanted. Thankfully, there was no one here. Just 100 more meters and I'd be out of here. I jogged up to the sign. I thought of what I had in Alcantra. I had nothing. No allies, no friends, no family members. Alcantra may have been home for me at one point, but it wasn't anymore. It was a prison. Was I ever going to find home again? Somewhere where I belong? Bro, I can imagine him constantly Kendrick scream. Okay. Ah! Yeah, I definitely did that. Okay. You ever get that feeling, chat? Like, you want to fucking sneeze. You can feel like it. You feel like it, right? You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze. But then it doesn't happen. You know, like, you're like, oh my god, I want to sneeze, but I don't want to force it, and now I can't sneeze, and I have to, like, wait it out. I'd be okay. Home is where the heart is. Even without a family, even without friends or allies, I create my own home. Being alone doesn't mean you're not where you belong. As long as there was a single ember of resolve left within me, a flame could grow from that. I could be all okay on my own. I reached the edge of Alcantra, stared at the sign marking the edge of the city limits, and took a deep breath. I then walked past the sign. Or tried to. Nah, you're banned from it. I'm banned from fucking sneezing? What the hell is this? I couldn't get past the sign. I tried again. I hit a wall? I tried again, and once again, I hit something. I looked ahead. There was no wall, just more road and trees. What was stopping me? I tentatively reached my hand out and couldn't move it a millimeter past the sign. There was something there, something you couldn't see, like a barrier. How the hell could there be an invisible barrier? There's no such thing as invisible walls. What's going on? I ran into that wall over and over. Did the townspeople do this? Had they erected some disguised exit out of town? That wasn't possible, but I thought them conspiring against me wasn't possible either. I had to believe everything was possible in this town. I went about 100 meters to the left of the sign and then tried to cross. No luck. I did the same to the right of the sign. No luck. There was simply no way of leaving Alcantra this way. So apparently I'm banned from leaving the town. What the fuck? You can't leave anyway. That's what Detective Storm had told me. I thought she meant that metaphorically. She meant it literally? Was it simply impossible for me to leave? I dropped the bag. It would only slow me down, and I didn't care about surviving. If I died a step past Alcantra, so be it. As long as I wasn't here. I made for the opposite end of the town towards the west exit. They couldn't make invisible barriers around the whole town. That's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. There's no way, right? I ran, and 20 minutes later, I was facing the west exit of Alcantra. I ran full steam at the openness that signified that there was a world that existed beyond Alcantra. I failed once again. I ran into a barrier. It didn't hurt. It wasn't like running into a brick wall, but I couldn't get past it. Every time I tried, I just stopped. I explored the left or right of the highway. I knew it was going to be pointless, and it was. Detective Storm was right. I couldn't leave Alcantra. How? There's no way. There's just no way. I slumped over against the invisible barrier behind me. I wanted to cry, to scream. My situation had always been weird. Things had been suspicious from the start. The hospital let me go too easily. Detective Storm treated me too conveniently. The messages were too deliberate. This was all too strange to not be a setup. But this? The hell was this supposed to be? Was I in some sort of experiment? They built a giant invisible dome around me and are experimenting on me? Who the fuck is they? The government? The people responsible for my torture? Was I brainwashed into amnesia? Even the most convoluted sci-fi scenarios would make more sense than this. The alternative was that I was crazy. So fucking delusional that this whole thing was in my head. Invisible barriers, amnesia, messages to me, paranoia of townspeople. I was just gone. This whole thing isn't real, and I'm prone to madness. Could someone save me? But who and how? I'm either batshit insane or subject to some weird torture. Who could save me in either scenario? There was still one more possibility, that my situation involved the supernatural. I'd been trying to forget about the Ghost of Alcantra, but maybe that was a mistake. My dreams told me she wanted to meet me. My dreams told me I wanted to meet her. Maybe she was the one who set this all up. I didn't know what ghosts were capable of. Maybe they could create barriers and turn people against someone. If this was about all the work of the Ghost of Alcantra, then of course she wouldn't let me run away. Since my time was waking up in that hospital, I'd been continuously finding new lows for myself. My mind started fracturing. Then I wanted to die. Then I tried to run away from everything. However, I was at my lowest now. I wasn't giving up on giving up. I stayed slumped against that invisible barrier until the sun started to go down. I watched the cars drive by, doing their best to avoid hitting me since I was sitting in the middle of the road. Nobody yelled at me to get off the road. I guess everyone in this town was waiting for me to return. I bet they were going to laugh at my attempt to run away. Who cares anyway? I didn't care about living anymore. Staying sane, going crazy, it didn't matter. Living, dying, that didn't matter either. If I was in an experiment, my fate was out of my hands. If I was crazy, it was too late for me now. If this was the work of a ghost, well, I'd have to wait for her to do something. I lost the will to do anything. Escaping Alcantra had been my last hope. That hope was now gone. I suppose I could try and kill myself, but that was a lot of work, and I figured I wouldn't be able to anyway. I was incapable of dying in my last nightmare, and I had a feeling it would be the same here. This wasn't just normal reality. I got up and started making my way slowly back to Detective Storm's house, assuming the worst was still to come. It was well after sunset by the time I returned to Detective Storm's house. It dawned on me that I left her backpack filled with all sorts of her things by the east exit of town, which was a silly thing to worry about. I had bigger problems than my theft. The door was unlocked when I arrived. I walked in, and sitting on the couch amidst all the mess I made was Detective Storm, sipping from a wine glass while she watched some sitcom on the TV. She stuck her tongue out at me when she noticed me. Gee, I was looking forward to having some peace and quiet around here and get back already. Didn't even mind the place being trashed if it meant some quality me time. I didn't say anything in response. I wasn't in the mood for jokes. She was wearing a sinister grin that I had seen a lot of over these past 2 months. I hadn't thought much of them beyond attributing them to Detective Storm's personality. I now realized that they had less to do with her and more to do with my situation. I told you that you couldn't leave. She shrugged her shoulders and looked up at her ceiling. And you didn't listen. Be honest with me. Is this all in my head? She burst out laughing. I didn't see what was so funny. Now you're catching on, but not quite. I'd say more like your soul? What does that mean? Well, a little more going on than you just being crazy. I could tell you that you're not in some sort of weird experiment. I know you were fretting about that earlier. So you can read minds? Only yours. You know, that's the second time someone has told me that. I must have a very readable mind. You might consider why your mind is so readable to those around you. She sipped on her wine. How was your dream last night? She even knew about my dreams. Not great. You didn't help with that. It's not like I wanted to be there either, Victor. Moody atmosphere, crappy dance partner, shitty time to be honest. Are you gonna tell me what's going on? Why? I'm the girl of your dreams? Hell if I know, Victor. About what the fuck is going on for all of this? It'll all be clear soon enough. I'm your appointed guide, and we're almost to the destination. Just one more event, one big realization, you'll be ready to face what happened, and we'll be done here. I suppose you won't just tell me what you're guiding me to? Absolutely not. I believe you've been told this already, but it's meaningless unless you do this on your own. I'll help you at the end, though. However, I could tell you that of the 3 options you considered in regards to your situation, the second and third were pretty close. So I'm not being experimented on, which means this is in my head and the work of a ghost? Well, in my soul or whatever, and the work of the Ghost of Alcantra. Bingo! That's pretty close. So you're telling me I'm having hallucinations caused by a ghost who doesn't like me. None of this is real then? Whether or not it's real is up to you. So, possessive, ghost possession, psychosis. Psychosis by ghost possession? Alright, sure, shit. Alright. Like that. Oh, okay, we are at low kbps right now. Hopefully it's still recording. It looks like it is. That's good. Please don't tell me the AWS is gonna get to Twitch too. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. I was so like, no, because can I be honest, chat? Yeah, it went out. Fuck. No, because I'm gonna be so for real, chat. I was like about to make a joke, being like, no, like the fucking AWS got to me too. No. And I probably still can't make that joke, to be honest. I was just like, ah. So it should still say that I'm going, right? Yeah, it does say that. Okay. So that still works. But, okay. Alright, we're still good. Okay, so if you missed the first big half, don't worry. I'm recording this on OBS, so it'll all be uploaded to YouTube once we're all done and good here. But yeah, sit tight, because apparently we have possession-induced psychosis. Yippee! I'm tired of these fucking riddles. Well, good for you. They're almost over. Like I said, one big event left, and afterwards, I'll walk you through what you already know. Like I said, I only know what you know after all. You're almost ready. She waggled her wine glass at me. What is this big event, Victor? The third murder, Ivana Rivers, the daughter of Marcella Rivers, will be killed. You're a detective, aren't you supposed to prevent that? She laughed. You know I can't do that. It's destined to happen. How is it destined? You already know, and I just told you. I only know what you know. She was right. I did know. I don't know how, but I did. Because of the murders in 87. That's right. And where does the third murder take place? In the ballroom of the events center. Sure it does. How did she die? Her neck is broken. Yep. When is this gonna happen? Tomorrow, July 19th. That's right. You'll figure things out somehow. Now that you've had a rough day, you better get some rest. After all, we want you in good shape for tomorrow. I guess that was my cue that she wasn't going to tell me anymore. I just went along with whatever now, not giving a shit, but I wanted to try and ask one more question. You're not really a detective, are you? I must know you from somewhere, and what you're doing now is just playing the role of a detective until the end of this big event, or whatever. I'm as real as fake detectives go, Victor. Which is not a particularly helpful answer. It's the 19th of July in 1997. Detective Storm and I arrived at the event center across the bridge in Hamatra in the early afternoon. On the surface, it looked like we were attending a community event. In reality, we were here for murder. I recall that in 87, this had been a semi-formal event where people had been dressed up. But Detective Storm and I didn't bother. You look better than Nightmare. I told her that as I got out of the car to annoy her. She made a face. You look like trash as always. Glad we got along so well. This was all formality. The end result would have long been predetermined. We registered at the reception desk and made our way to the main event in the ballroom. Walking through the hallway, I remembered that the doors leading to the other rooms in this hallway were supposed to be locked. I knew that they weren't and that the killer would take advantage of that. My recollections were so much more vivid for this murder than the other two. With the previous murder, I just remember the general details of the murders, but for this one, I also knew specifics. Stepping into the ballroom, it was all I remembered from how it had been in 87. The tables were aligned the same way as in 87. Unlike my nightmare, nobody was dancing, just milling around and talking. Detective Storm grabbed a plate and started loading it up with food. The murder wasn't going to happen for a couple of hours, which made this coming this early seem stupid. She responded to me as if she could read my mind, which I guess she could. We were being proper about this. You were here early last time. She was right. I had the feeling I was here for some time before the murder happened. Well, we don't need to get all the details exact. You know what the end result is going to be anyway. You might as well talk. I know you have plenty to ask. Will you really answer my questions? She shrugged while munching on the crackers topped with a variety of different cheeses. Depends on the question. Okay, how about we start at the beginning? Good idea. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, and that's with me waking up with amnesia in the hospital. Everyone said that my amnesia was psychological, that I had caused it. But it's actually caused by the Ghost of Alcantra, right? Oh no, we weren't lying about that. Your amnesia was definitely caused by you. Bruh. What? But I thought the Ghost of Alcantra was behind all this. Well, kind of. That's more or less true. Fucking God. Can you just confirm, please? It was never a straight answer with her. Oh, you already knew. Wow, I wish I knew what I know. Wow, it's not like I'm an amnesiac. No way, dude. So my amnesia is caused by me. Why would I do that? Do I have something I want to forget? That's an understatement. You won't tell me when I'm forgetting? Absolutely not. That defeats the purpose. What purpose? For you to remember. Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Victor, this whole thing is because of you. Your amnesia, the murders, it's all you. I remembered Elaine Weatherton and told me something similar. But what about the Ghost of Alcantra then? I'll let her answer for herself on that. You'll meet her soon enough. I grabbed some salami and crackers to put on my plate. I needed the comfort of snacks to deal with this frustration. Let's move on from the amnesia then. This whole thing, it's a setup, right? Yes. Nice to finally get a straight answer. The hospital letting me out was your doing? Of course, no legitimate hospital would ever let a patient with your amnesia out. The whole town is in on this. It was funny that I once considered that idea and concluded that the thought was ridiculous. What is this? How would you describe the whole thing, Victor? Fucking terrible. Well, true, I imagine it is. But to be more specific, you've thought it several times. I knew what she was getting at. It's like torture. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly right. It's like a torture. So this thing the whole town is on, it's a torture? A torture for me? Man, that must be special as fuck. Yep, that's probably the best way to describe it. So the wallet, and the message replacing my ID, the townspeople, the weird messages sent to me over the last couple months, all part of the process to make this whole thing succeed. It wouldn't be a torture otherwise. Rattling and unsettling, right? This whole thing is a targeted attack meant to tear you down, to bring out your guilt and insecurities and use those to suffocate you. Suffocate is one way to put it. I spent so much time trying to reason logically about that stupid message in my wallet when the whole thing was just a scam to try to make me feel like shit. Well, the scam succeeded, but this would have to mean... Wait. My God, you're dense. Yes, you're in on it. You're more than in on it. You're the cause of all this. I let her angrily eat her crackers. Something still wasn't adding up. Enough questions about your amnesia and your role. You'll find out soon enough. I'm just answering some of your questions to save time later. Wouldn't want to drop everything on you all at once. I know better than most that your psyche is unstable. Is that why your behavior was always so convenient? What the hell are you calling convenient? That's not what I meant. I meant You were goading at first, maybe almost instigative. But when I needed you to be nice, you were. Convenient and treating me how I needed to be treated. That was part of my job. We couldn't have you falling apart too quickly. If you gave up too early, then what would follow wouldn't have much impact. I mean, I guess, but like, oh my god. That was my job as the guide, to guide you through this torture, to keep you together until you're allowed to fall apart. Gee, thanks. You're welcome. So, let me see if I have this right. The Ghost of Alcantra is getting involved with me because of things I did in my past. That's right. I caused my own amnesia in whatever psychological torture chamber she's got me in. Yep, you did. And in this psychological torture chamber, the townspeople are all in a plot to recreate the events of 1987. It sounded stupid when said aloud, but it felt right. From the very beginning, something about all this had been off. It was almost a relief that this wasn't real. At least, not real in the sense that I was familiar with. Sounds about right. She responded through a mouthful of cheese. You guys did a pretty good job. You guys, you're the one who did all this. What was she talking about? I just gave myself amnesia. What else did I do? I told you already, you're the cause of all this. Everyone keeps telling me it's all my fault and that I caused all this, but no one will ever tell me what I did. Also, I believe we're going to be getting into ads right now. But if you want to skip those, feel free to drop a sub for the channel. Yippee. Unless it's tricking me right now. Believe we should be coming on to ads. Saw it earlier, but anyway. Like I told you, that's the point. She grabbed another plate. How many plates of cheese can you eat? A lot. Why don't you leave me alone to eat a piece? I'm gonna have enough of this to do later today. Go around and talk to the other people. You'll find that they're more accommodating than usual. I glanced around the room. She was right. No one was glaring or looking at me suspiciously. In fact, no one was looking at me at all. Everyone was minding their own business. Go ahead. It'll be your last chance of normalcy for a while. Yeah, I'll go to do that. She deserved a break from me anyway. I spent the next hour going around to different tables. I didn't really chat, but nobody seemed to mind. There wouldn't have been much to talk about anyway. Hi, how are you all enjoying torturing me today? But going around made it all more apparent to me. These weren't real people. They were simply fulfilling roles. I can't believe I never noticed. Since the hospital, the only people I met with any personality were Detective Story and Elaine Weatherton. Everyone else I interacted with was bland and automation-like. I should have been suspicious, not by their suspicion of me, but by the fact that no one had any defining characteristic besides their suspicion of me. They existed only to make me feel like I was a murderer. This game is a trip. My head hurts. Oh, you poor baby. Oh, see me. But yeah, we're in that. Hi, Cream. See you're trucking along. You're further than I expected. Yay! I am doing my best. I'm gonna do this more tomorrow too. Anyway, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fill up my runtime. I'm gonna do some Alcantra. You know. It's like, yeah, very excited. I waited for the time of the murder to approach. When it drew near, I met up with Detective Storm on the outskirts of a crowd gathering around a drunk older fellow who was having the time of his life telling some story. But this wasn't genuine. This was a recreation. In a few minutes, while everyone was watching this guy, a scream would ring out and they would discover the body of Ivana Rivers. Ivana Rivers? That wasn't right. It was someone else. I see you're finally remembering. Remember who died first? Marcella Rivers. The name is familiar, right? It was. It was very familiar. I had felt when I heard the name. Marcella Rivers. Marcella Rivers. M.R. We'll be able to tune in tomorrow. Got a shit ton of meetings. Don't worry about it. Because I'm gonna end up recording these streams anyway. I always record them. So they'll all be up on my YouTube channel, which is Cream Straw Bun VOD. It's right there on the YouTube thing, right there on my screen. So if you want to, you can go look. Yippee! In 1987, it was Marina Radek who died, and her daughter was the third victim. It was Alicia Radek who was killed here. Ivana Rivers, Alicia Radek, IR. That's right. And Beatrice Jameson, B&J. Beryl Johnson was the victim in 87. I was familiar with the murders because I was there for them in 87. I'm the murderer. Detective Storm looked at me like I was dumb. You think you killed Marina Raddick, Beryl Johnson, and Alicia Raddick? Of course. Why else would I be going through all this? Why else would you all give me those messages? Oh, don't be stupid. You're not the murderer of 87. You just think you're responsible for them. Well, at least 2 of them. I'm not the murderer? Of course not. The murders of 87 were so obvious that everyone knew who did it. It wasn't a mystery. It was a case of someone very powerful getting away with something they shouldn't have. Then who was I? And what did the Ghost of Alcantra want with me? Who was the Ghost of Alcantra? Marina Raddick, Beryl Johnson, or Alicia Raddick? No, it wasn't any of them. The woman I killed in my first nightmare and who appeared at the end of my third, that was the Ghost of Alcantra. Even an idiot could figure out that a thorn was the murderer. The thorns, of course! That's why I felt they were involved. A thorn was the murderer. Then everybody pretended that they didn't remember them because of whatever the psychological torture was. Elaine Weatherton had said that bullshit about the town being replaced. She just needed an excuse. But the thorns, I knew more than that they were involved. I knew the thorns themselves. Also, welcome back from ads. I think we're getting into a plot twist. I knew them. The name brought me such agony, such powerful emotions. How could a name do all that to me? Elaine didn't lie to you. Okay, the whole town was replaced. Really? The town was created by you. In that sense, Alcantra really was replaced. The townspeople only knew what they needed to. For purposes of this torture, they couldn't remember the thorns. That didn't make sense. The Ghost of Alcantra was behind this. I couldn't create a whole town. I'm not the murderer. You're not. The murderer is the thorn. That's right. Then, what happened to the thorns? She gave me a look. Was she pitying me? And who am I? Someone who is hurting, a person who hates themselves, a man who desperately wants to meet someone again, but thinks they can't until they suffer accordingly. She glanced at her watch. It'll all be clear soon. You know what's next. I had to pretend to do some detective work. That's right. In just a moment, a scream was going to ring out. I knew the timing well. The moment had left such an impact on me. But I'll leave you with one last thing. You said we should start with the beginning. Well, we didn't. Start from the beginning, that is. We started with a hospital in amnesia. Wait. The beginning was like you were hit by a motorcyclist. With that, Detective Storm turned around and headed towards the exit to the hallway. Seconds later, a shriek rang out. That is a good shriek. Whoever voice acted that was a really good shriek. Holy shit. It was a horrifying shriek, too horrifying to be authentic. It was a scream that had been cultivated from lots of practice. It was the shriek of an accomplice. She was landing through a window that was unlocked. It hadn't been just her. There was another accomplice. A murderer had help. It was 1997 now, but it happened just like it had in 87. And as if I were God and I were commanding it to happen, the crowd of people in the ballroom began to head towards the exit following the sound of the scream. I joined that crowd, not as an observer, but as a creator. I had once been a part of this. Now was the origin. As the one in control of this, the crowd let me pass through the exit way into the hallway. There was Detective Storm and several police officers frantically throwing open doors. I knew which door was going to reveal Ivana Rivers, or I should say Alicia Raddick. I headed over to it just as a police officer opened it and gave a shout. Detective Storm ran into the room swiftly, playing the role of a detective, chasing the ghost of Detective Kyle Rage in 87. I followed shortly behind her. I looked into the room, and there was the lifeless body of Alicia Raddick. Previously, I could only imagine how the victims had looked, but I remembered this one. She was as I had left her in 87. Her neck hung broken. She cradled the back of the chair lifelessly. It was beautiful. How else could one describe this portrait matching the one inside my head so flawlessly? Every detail of her death was replicated perfectly. It was a beauty of finding one's suspicions to be true, to find reality matching what one believes. And in this case, there could be nothing more beautiful. Detective Storm ushered me out of the room and began barking orders, an acting performance worthy of commendation. It was precisely as Detective Kyle Rage had done all those years ago. But what should have been a cacophony of his panic, hysteria, and fear was a symphony to me. Every measure I heard was exactly as it should be, how it was originally composed. The crowd's agitation was perfectly captured in the performance that resounded throughout the hall. It was wonderful, it was magnificent, and it was all for me. The devil was to be applauded for his efforts in the recreation of this scene. Not in just this scene, but for these past 2 months, this entire torture. Such convenient amnesia, who deserved it more than I? Such a convenient Alcantra, who deserved to suffer in it more than I? Such convenient murders, who deserved to relive them more than I? I smiled, a broad grin of a maniac who had just realized that they were getting what they had deserved after all these years. Oh, indeed, just as Detective Storm said, we didn't start with the beginning. This had begun with a collision with a motorcyclist. My death was the beginning of this story. What else could explain this? Only in hell could such a targeted, specific torture exist. July 18th, 1987. A week of nighttime getaways with Alexandra passed. I woke up in the middle of the afternoon today, so dinner was basically my breakfast. Uncle Kyle was eating with us. When I went down for dinner, I could hear him and my parents arguing about something. I worked my facial features to try to put on a heartbroken expression since I was supposed to be depressed. I didn't greet anyone when I sat down at the table because I figured that heartbroken people had more of their minds besides manners. But Uncle Kyle did the greeting for me as I sat down. Nick, there's my man. Help your uncle out. He really showed energy, so this was suspicious. I was just asking your parents if they could go with me to this stupid community event tomorrow. It's a thing the town is doing to instill good spirit or whatever. Basically a little dance party with music. I was invited, and well, it'd be awkward to turn the invitation down since it was a police chief who invited me. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I want your parents to come with me so they can handle the socializing. You know, I really hate that sort of stuff. He did hate that sort of stuff. When he was on the job, it was no problem, but anything outside of work, well, I guess there was a reason he was single. My parents had lots of stories from high school of him being an awkward mess, and apparently not much had changed. I could see why he didn't want to go. Sorry, Kyle, but like I said, we're doing an evening with the Devons down the street. Badminton and dinner. We do it every year. It's kind of our thing with them. Like I was saying, can't you cancel or reschedule? Then Miss Devons will tell everyone that we think the community event is more important than her. You know how she is. Just tell them I'm a wreck. I'm sure she'll understand. Kyle, could you pull yourself together? For heaven's sake, your job has you confront murderers. I'd rather face a murderer than small talk, to be completely honest. Uncle Kyle set his sights on me. Since your parents can't go, would you be willing, Nick? Kyle! The remaining suspects will be there, so at least it'll be entertaining. Professor Kashak and both Thorns. I could, I don't know, do some detective work things to keep you entertained. I could care less about Professor Kashak, but the idea of meeting Alexandra's family was enticing. I wanted to know what they were like and if they matched what Alexandra told me about them. I knew her family was aware of who I was, even if they weren't aware of what I knew. If possible, I could maybe try to make a good impression on her father. You know, just in case he wasn't a murderer. Kyle, you know I told him to leave you alone. I can't believe you. I'm in. What? Great. I came up with an excuse. You know, I've been feeling really down lately. The whole Alexandra situation and all. I could really use a diversion. Bro was next level tripping. No, he is. Do something to keep my mind off of things, you know? Uncle Kyle nodded enthusiastically. Yes, of course, of course. It would be just the thing for you. But couldn't it be dangerous? The Thorns are killers. I mean, probably, but we don't know that for sure, and they won't pull anything at a public event. A lot of the city people will be there, and I know for a fact that several police officers will be there. Are you going to pull something like they do in the books and movies? Like, you'll round the suspects up and bam, nail the killer. Sorry, I'm not as dramatic as the detectives in stories. I'm not sure I even have a legal license to do what you're describing unless they pull a gun and shoot someone there. Kyle! Sorry, Cordelia. I was finally meeting the Thorns. I wasn't going to tell Alexandra about this because I knew she'd tell me to stay away. She thought her brother was dangerous. But I'd be with Uncle Kyle, and he was right. There was no way the Thorns could pull something off in a public space as the events center. This is an opportunity that wasn't to be missed. So you want me to handle the socializing? Exactly. I smiled at Uncle Kyle. Leave it to me. Oh no. This sad excuse for a community outreach was held in the ballroom of the events center, which is just across the bridge. Uncle Kyle drove us in his Camaro. He told me on the ride that there was going to be a lot of people since everyone invited was allowed to bring guests. I thought it was kind of silly that Alcantra and Hamatra were having a community event after 2 murders, but Uncle Kyle told me that the event was a response to the murders. It was an event to rebuild community in trying times or something like that. We arrived at the parking lot around mid-afternoon. Uncle Kyle looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Why didn't you just say no? Because turning people down is even harder. This man didn't like his job, hated socializing, didn't sleep, and hated turning people down. Must be a rough life. I dragged him over towards the entrance. At the reception desk, I told them that Detective Kyle Rage and his nephew were here. Uncle Kyle cowered behind me as best as a grown man hiding behind a teenager can, and we walked down the hall towards the ballroom. There were lots of rooms on each side of the hallway. You could try hiding in one of these rooms. Uncle Kyle nodded thoughtfully. That's not a bad idea. Probably locked, though. Well, there's always a bathroom. I'll consider that when I'm desperate enough. We walked into the ballroom. The room was massive and had circular tables spread all over the place. Lots of snack-type food were on the tables. Staff were walking around carrying a variety of different beverages. It was very unimpressive given the status of the people here. Of course, I typically didn't get invited to these sorts of things. The room was filled with mostly middle-aged, older people standing around holding plates of food and talking. A very Midwestern sort of social event. Nothing more evil and horrible than a party where small talk was the main event. I don't understand Uncle Kyle's feelings. Some classical waltz was playing for music, given the event was a much more formal one than it likely deserved. I looked at Uncle Kyle, who was turning a rather strange shade of green and shaking. How's this for a game plan? We start at the table there and we get you a plate full of food. Then you just follow me and say hello and nod your head every once in a while. Uncle Kyle nodded, though I don't think he was going to be able to stomach any food. We walked over to the nearest table and I loaded his plate with an assortment of cheeses, crackers, fruits, and meats. That should keep him busy. Couldn't talk if your mouth was full all the time. While Uncle Kyle determinedly stared down his plate to avoid making eye contact with anyone, I began scanning the room for Elgar and Vlad Thorn. I hadn't met either of them personally, but I knew what they both looked like. Oh. That's Vlad? Listen. Hey, listen. I could excuse the murder. I think I could excuse the murder. No? What do you mean no? Look at him. What do you mean no? Vlad was easy to find. He was surrounded by a decent-sized crowd. I continued scanning the room trying to find Elgar, but I couldn't find him. Uncle Kyle was being more observant than he acted because he came to the same conclusion as me. I guess Elgar decided not to show up. Vlad had been doing most of the public appearances for the family. I guess we're pretty well acquainted with him now. Not really. I talked a couple of times with both. Vlad seems nice enough, and Elgar is quite the grouch, but I didn't get much from them. I had to settle for talking with Vlad. I started slowly working my way toward him. I didn't want to make it too obvious that I wanted to speak with him, but I wanted to be there when the crowd around him started to thin. Unfortunately, Uncle Kyle was more popular than I thought, and lots of people bombarded us, and I had to play social games for Uncle Kyle. I guess being a detective from a bigger city makes you quite the local celebrity. Detective Rage, how's the case going? Mr. Rage, good to see you. Keeping the town safe, huh? Mr. Detective, how you doing? You know, I got this great little fishing hole. Hey, dude, didn't we go to high school together? Uncle Kyle stuck to my pre-arranged script and I did the talking for us. Most folk around here are happy to talk with anyone, so when I did the responding for Uncle Kyle, they were happy to chat with me. Uncle Kyle pretended to eat his food. You're the first to not describe Vlad's appearance as youth car salesman. I guess I could see that. I really don't. I'm just kind of like tucking my hair behind my ear. Like, listen, I can excuse the murder. You want to be my wife? You want to be my male wife? Okay. Anyway. How about you try grabbing a drink? Might ease your nerves. Who knows? Maybe might even help you talk. It wouldn't do to have the detective drinking during the afternoon. Really? Seems like that would be celebrated around here. A balding, fatter gent with looking awkwardly out of place waddled over to us. Uncle Kyle adopted a more serious expression. Hello, Professor Kachak. Hello, Detective Rage. I thought I'd stop and say hello. He was a very nervous sort of man, constantly sweating and fiddling with his hands. This is my nephew, Uncle Nick Fox. Hello, Dr. Kachak. It's nice to meet you. Hi. No need for the doctor part. I'm retired. I'm, an acquaintance of your uncle. That was one way of saying that you were a suspect. So, are you enjoying the party? He jumped, surprised that I addressed him. Oh, yes, it's a lovely event. I was invited by the former dean of the college. Sorry, I'm just a little jumpy. He looked over at Uncle Kyle. Have you considered what I said? Uncle Kyle gave him a stern frown. I haven't. But you wouldn't solve the case otherwise. Uncle Kyle gave him a glare and shushed him. Dr. Kachak jumped again and started fiddling with his fingers. No, Dr. Kachak, I don't believe in ghosts. Dr. Kachak thought ghosts were going to solve the case? But I still hear her. Marina, it's almost like she's there. Uncle Kyle jutted his head at me, then towards another table, but I stayed put. I wanted to hear this. Uncle Kyle just sighed at my disobedience. We've already been over this, Dr. Kachak. Your doctor thinks this is just a psychological phenomenon related to grief about her death. In my head? No, it's definitely more than that. She's haunting me. And how is her haunting you supposed to help the investigation? She tells me she won't rest. Oh, shit. She's always saying he did it. Yes, you told me this already. Dr. Kachak looked around looking extremely frightened. She tells me that Vlad Thorn killed her. I tensed up at hearing that, but Uncle Kyle just rolled his eyes. He leaned in and whispered to Dr. Kachak. Listen, Dr. Kachak, we all think that, and for good reason. It doesn't have to do with any visions you're having. Even if you were right, it's not like I can use the testimony of a ghost for evidence. But Dr. Kachak looked like he was about to cause a scene any minute, which prompted Detective Rage into action. He grabbed Dr. Kachak's arm and began dragging him to another table. I recognized the police chief at the table that they were heading towards. I started to follow them, but Detective Rage jutted his head firmly on another table. I ignored him and kept walking. He jutted his head again with more force, testing the structural limits of his neck. I got the message. I headed towards another table. I grumbled to myself while piling my plate with cheese and crackers, with salami and crackers. I didn't believe in ghosts, but what Dr. Kachak said was still interesting to think about. Your uncle looks like he's having fun. I turned around and nearly spat out all my crackers. Speaking of the devil, it was Vlad Thorn. Hi. My name is Creme. I'm a streamer, VTuber. I'm not signed with anybody right now, but like, I mean, if you want to throw me a couple thousand, just to help me out. I mean, listen, we don't even have to be married. You could just say I'm your secret wife. I don't give a fuck. Honey, don't honey me. He's a killer. And you know what? I just said it earlier. I can excuse murder because look at him. You know, what if he's being framed? He's probably just misunderstood. He's probably a well-adjusted businessman. He is definitely a well-adjusted businessman. He's just misunderstood. He's just misunderstood. That's all. Yeah. I was face to face with a potential murder. Don't even with me. To be honest, he didn't look like one. He had an amused look on his face. I remembered Alexandra's warnings about him. She told me that he was fake. I glanced over at Uncle Kyle, who was talking to the police chief with Dr. Kashak. Well, this was the goal for today. I gulped. Still, it would have been nice to have a detective for support. Yeah, well, socializing events like this really aren't really his thing. She laughed. Sorry, we haven't introduced yet. I'm Vlad Thorn. I smiled wearingly. I'm Nick Fox. Yeah, I figured you must be, watching Detective Rage cower behind you. He gave me a knowing sort of grin. Your uncle and I are pretty well acquainted these days. Sounds rough, I guess. I mean, the reason you're well acquainted with my uncle. Yep, sure is a pain. Not that I blame him, or blame the cops. Check them out over there. They've been watching me like a hawk the whole time. I get it. I'd suspect the Thorns too. That's so. Sure, we're guilty of all sorts of things. I nearly spat on my crackers again. Vlad just smiled. Our MO is making money and ruining lives. We deal in corruption, bribery, and breaking things in our favor. I don't blame anyone for suspecting us. Should you, be telling me this? Probably not. I mean, everyone knows, but I suppose I get in trouble for admitting it. I'll tell you this, kid. Here's the moral of the story. Don't trust rich people. You gotta be a little nasty and make the amount of money the Thorns have. I figured he was saying this to seem like he was a good guy in my eyes. However, I had the suspicion that he believed some of what he was saying. So he's delusional, got it. So, Mr. Thorn, what sort of nasty things should I avoid doing? He raised an eyebrow at me. Mister? Yes? Do I look old enough to be a mister? Not really, but it'd be kind of weird to just call you Vlad. The fuck? It's a cool name. Oh yeah, it's a cool name. Way cooler than Nick, but no offense, Mr. Thorn. I'm not the type of guy who can go around calling you Vlad. Ugh. He opened his mouth to respond, but another voice responded first. I wouldn't mind calling you Vlad. A young woman with long brown hair and a risky sort of dress came walking towards us. I didn't recognize her. She had a bright smile and didn't seem intimidated at all that she was talking to the heir of the Thorns. Miss Raddick, correct? Miss Raddick? Oh, she must mean Alicia, Marina Raddick's daughter. She seemed positively chipper for someone whose mother was murdered recently. Yes, I'm Alicia Raddick. It's nice to meet you, Vlad. Oh, girl. She turned her bright smile towards me. And you are? I'm Nick Fox. It's so nice to meet you too. Vlad and I glanced at each other. I think we were both thrown off by her. Miss Raddick, can we help you with anything? She fluttered her eyes at Vlad. Well, I was just thinking. We're in a ballroom and no one's dancing. I was thinking that maybe we could liven things up. She looked at him expectantly. I knew Alicia was around 19, so I guess she wasn't that young to be trying to make a move on Vlad. I mean, I got it. He has a lot of money. I'm sorry, Miss Raddick. The Thorns aren't running the event. Shit. We were just invited. Oh, don't worry about that, Vlad. We don't need permission to dance. She put her hand on his arm, looking up at him with her best come-hither eyes. Vlad put on a smile even I could tell was forced and called over a waiter and then asked for some drinks. He took the glasses off the tray and handed them to us, making sure to hand Alicia and I non-alcoholic beverages. I immediately started drinking mine as an excuse to avoid talking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Raddick, but I have a girlfriend, and I doubt she'd be pleased to hear that I dance with another girl. That's me. I'm the girlfriend. Alicia shrugged and then turned towards me, the smile of her face now. She was all business. Real? That's crazy. It was worth a try. Let me guess, you have a girlfriend too? Going immediately for me afterwards? And Alexandra was my girlfriend? I mean, she would be if we could be public about it. We never put an official label on it. I decided to take a diplomatic approach. I knew that Vlad knew that Alexandra and I had been kind of a thing when she was allowed to go about Alcantra. I could reveal that safely. I don't, but I just had my heart broken by a girl, so you know, not really feeling the whole dancing thing. Her hand somehow found my arm. And you're not looking for anyone to heal that broken heart? She took a sip of her drink, managing to make some pretty suggestive noises while doing so. You know what? I don't think he did it. Maybe he did it, but like, Alicia kind of freaky. She kind of a nasty bitch. Oh my god. Making suggestive noises while sipping her drink. Fucking mira. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? No, not yet, thanks. Vlad and I glanced at each other. Vlad was doing his best to stifle a laugh. She was such a character, I decided I could loosen up a little. How do you do that? I don't know. Alicia is having her hot girl summer, okay? I mean, listen, she can have her hot girl summer. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna give a side eye. Fuck it. Mira. Like, what are we doing? Didn't your mom just die? Vlad nearly spat out his drink. Alicia ignored him and made a face at me. What, my mom being dead means I'm not allowed to find love? I should just sit and pine forever like she did? I mean, it was only a month ago. Oh, I'm so tired of everyone being like this. She downed the rest of her drink. Criminal offensive side eye. Are you alright, Alicia? Are you alright, Alicia? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. It was nice of people the first couple of days, but yes, I'm fine. I'm alright. That hag never let me do anything. No boys, no parties, no nothing. Like, I'm finally free to do whatever, and people assume I'm too depressed to do anything. That really wasn't a response I was expecting. I felt bad now. You go, girl. Don't get me wrong, I was sad when she died, but like, I can't be sad forever. Life goes on, you know the whole shtick. I might as well start living, look at the bright side of things. Chasing boys wasn't something I could do before, but hey, now I can. So, here I am. You really think you're going to find love here? It's as good as a place as any. It's really not. And why is that? No ambience, lots of old people, mediocre dining options. Nick's got a point. Not the place to fall in love. And where's a good place to fall in love? I thought about it. Somewhere with fireworks. I was probably biased, though. I wouldn't recommend falling in love. Not everyone can handle it. Nah, she for the streets? Babe, that's crazy. That's such a crazy thing to say. Who broke his heart? My mom just died. I could probably handle it. I wasn't so sure. Alicia took out a notepad and pen from... Oh, okay, hold on. Be right back. Be right back real quick. Alright, I'm back. Alicia took out a notepad and pen from who knows where. You boys got any tips for my flirting? I'm pretty new to this. Vlad and I looked at each other. Little less aggressive. A conversation starter helps move things along. Jokes are good. Less desperation. That is crazy. My God. Hey, I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. Raises my hand. Fucking. The dress works though. Pretty hot. Vlad nearly spat out his drink again. I hoped he wouldn't tell Alexandra about that comment. Alicia jotted some things down. Thanks, boys. Appreciate the tips. Vlad was looking at her like he was seeing her in a new light. You know, I get it. Embracing freedom. He sighed. Wish I had some. Was this a reference to growing up a thorn? Of course, I wasn't supposed to know details about the thorns, so I didn't say anything. Alicia took another shot at him, though. You tried being chained down? You could be free with me, you know. I don't think my girlfriend would approve of me expressing my personal freedom by cheating on her. Exactly. Listen, he may be a murder suspect, but at least he's loyal. Alicia shrugged. Whatever, I guess you were lost cause. She winked at me. If you ever change your mind, I'll be across the hall. She walked away. I was still thinking about Vlad's comment. Alexandra mentioned that her father had been pretty tough on him. I guess he wasn't as free as one should be either, even if his situation wasn't comparable to Alexandra's. Vlad shook his head watching Alicia flirt with a considerably older person now. Strange girl. Anyway, Nick, it was nice meeting you. He stuck his hand out. I shook it. Hopefully it's not as flirtatious sounding, but he gestured at the ballroom. I'll be around. Come say hi when you get bored. It'll be more fun for me than talking to these geezers about the logging economy. Sure thing. I watched him head towards another table, and I went off to find Uncle Kyle, figuring that I'd better try and save him from whatever social situation he was suffering through. I thought back on my conversation with Vlad. Could he be a murderer? I couldn't really tell from that. He didn't seem fake, as Alexandra had said he was. He seemed genuine about his disdain for what the Thorns did and about wishing he had more freedom in his life. But he was very in control. Everything he said or did seemed to be calculated to an extent. His responses made him seem trustworthy and considerate, while also establishing that he was part of a different world than most. I guess that sort of conversational navigation came with the territory of being the heir to the Thorns. I found Uncle Kyle at a table looking like he was considering hiding underneath it. Some more couple was chatting with him and he was just nodding along. I went and saved him. When the couple left, I addressed my uncle. So, everything okay with Dr. Kashak? Yeah, we got him to calm down. I think some folk escorted him out. He nodded in the direction of Vlad. I see you got acquainted with Mr. Thorn. Yeah, we chatted a bit. Also talked with Alicia Raddick. She was weirder than I expected. Yeah, she's a little weird, but I guess everyone handles loss in their own way. Vlad mentioned that the cops were watching it the whole time. You have folk on him all the time? Well, not on my orders, but yes, we try to keep tabs on him. I wasn't worried about you talking to him. There had to be at least 3 officers watching him the whole time. That's reassuring. We scurried around the ballroom floor for about an hour. I was starting to get a little bored doing small talk for Uncle Kyle, who was back to being antisocial. Thankfully, we got some excitement from an older gent who obviously had too much to drink. He was doing the Midwest proud with a terrible stand-up comedy routine. The jokes sucked, but everyone was laughing anyway. There was quite a crowd gathered around him, which Uncle Kyle and I joined. I saw Vlad at the end of the crowd. I headed over. Not the sort of image the Thorns would approve of? He turned around and smiled when he saw me. Oh, hi, Nick. Hi, Detective. Nah, I really don't care. Though I admit my father would not approve. We watched the old guy jumping around talking about his football days. You best be careful, Nick. Might be you in a couple years. Speaking from experience? A Thorn? Public drinking? Never. Uncle Kyle didn't pay much attention to us. He seemed too relieved that somebody else had everyone's attention and that he could blend into the background. Vlad and I were laughing as the old guy attempted a cartwheel when I suddenly heard the worst noise I had ever heard in my life. A blood-curdling scream shook the room. The whole room collectively held its breath in response. Even the drunk old guy managed to shut up. We all looked around trying to determine the source of the sound. It didn't come from the ballroom itself. It sounded like it had come from the hallway outside. Detective Rage sprang into action. He sprinted to find the source of the scream. Several police officers sprinted after him. Vlad and I exchanged anxious looks. Obviously something had happened, but it couldn't have been Vlad's doing. He was standing next to me the whole time, so what was going on? People were whispering to each other. The murmurs began to grow. Curiosity got the better of me. I followed after my uncle and the police. Lots of others had the same idea as me. Soon we had a crowd leaving the ballroom. Vlad was right there. He didn't do it. Then it's someone else. It has to be someone else. I was ahead of the main pack. I ran out of the ballroom and saw Detective Rage and the cops frantically opening doors. I looked down the hall. There was no one there besides Detective Rage and the police. What murder? A cop came out of a door on the left. Anything? He shook his head. I thought the doors were supposed to be locked, but it looked like not a single one of them was. Detective Rage and the police kept ripping open doors trying to locate the source of the scream. After a couple more doors, one of the policemen let out an audible yelp. Here! Pandemonium ensued. A large crowd gathered in the hallway following Detective Rage and the police, though the police shouted at us to stay back. Of course, we didn't listen. We all had one thing on our mind. We wanted to know what that scream was all about. Detective Rage was the first into the doorway after the policeman's shout. The police shouted for people to stay back. I ignored them and chased Detective Rage. Several other people did as well. I made it to the doorway. The room was a typical conference room. There was a table surrounded by chairs with a window in the back. But in the middle was a girl I had just talked to an hour ago. It was Alicia Raddick. She was sitting in a chair. No, that wasn't right. She was lifelessly cradling the back of the chair, her arms dangling from her sides, her head drooping towards the ground with no control. Lifeless, because no one could look at her and think she was alive. I was no medical expert, but even I could tell she was dead. I stared at the body, stupefied. Uncle Kyle was examining the scene. My head was pounding. My heart was racing. I couldn't think at all. It was a third murder, but who could have done it, and why Alicia Raddick? I immediately thought of Vlad, but he couldn't have. He was next to me the whole time. He was watched the whole afternoon. It couldn't possibly be Vlad. I couldn't get my thoughts together. I just kept staring at Alicia Raddick's lifeless form. Someone behind me screamed. Several shouting noises joined the scream. I barely even noticed the noise. I was too rattled. Detective Rage glanced back. He saw me in the crowd and his eyes widened in fury. Everyone get back! I had never seen him like this. He was manic, focused, nothing at all like he was 5 minutes ago. I walked backwards slowly. The police were trying to get the crowd to back up. I retreated with the rest of the crowd. The image of Alicia Raddick's dead body burned into my mind. Detective Rage was barking orders at the police and at the crowd. I didn't hear any of them. I could only hear residual ringing in my ears. It looked like he was looking for a doctor in the crowd. A man stepped up and followed him, but I already knew what the diagnosis would be. Someone had broken her neck. There was no other explanation for the way her head was drooping like that. Oh my god.
Are you streaming?
Yes. Let me see. Sorry, my brother was being silly. He comes in, he's like, are you streaming? I'm like, yeah. Then he's so silly. Dude, so okay. Because I have, so we're Nick. So from 97 to 97, we are Nick. We are the same fucking person. We're Nick. We're Nick, dude. That's the only conclusion I can make of this. We are Nick. The crowd was herded back into the ballroom. The room was bursting with panic energy. I think people were trying to ask me things as I had looked into the room. I ignored them. Alicia Raddick was dead. Someone I had talked to earlier today had been killed. I remember Walburn telling me the day after the first murder that he hoped that Alicia would be okay. I'm sorry, Walburn. She shouldn't have died. The cops and a detective were here. It was a huge event. Who would decide to kill Alicia Raddick and do it here? I couldn't get my mind around that. I thought back to the previous murders, the buzz of the crowd competing with the escalating panic in my mind. Everyone thought Thorne was the culprit. Alexandra thought Vlad Thorne had to have done it. I trusted Alexandra. Dr. Kashak had told Detective Rage that Marina's ghost was telling him that it was Vlad Thorne, but Vlad Thorne, he couldn't have done this. He was next to me laughing when that scream rang out. There was no possible way he could have broken Alicia Raddick's neck. If she was dead on his orders, that was almost scarier. would have taken so much work to pull that off in this setting. If Vlad Thorn had the power to kill Alicia Radek in this setting, then he already owned this town. I looked at the crowd, and there I saw him. He was looking directly at me. He had a blank look on his face. Then slowly, the mask that Alexandra spoke of, the mask fell off. He stared at me and the blank look morphed into a smile. It was almost a smirk. He wasn't shaken. He wasn't scared. He wasn't excited. It was a small smile of confidence, the smile of someone who was always in complete control. I didn't know what that smile was for. Maybe it was to comfort me. Maybe it was to gloat. Maybe he was just crazy, but there that smile remained. Just try and stop me. And just try and stop me. That's what I thought he was saying to me. He kept looking at me, and all I could do was stare back in horror. I had to stay a couple of hours for questioning to assist with the investigation, since I had talked to Alicia during the event. In question, I told Detective Rage everything that had transpired between Alicia, Vlad, and I during our talk. They didn't seem to care that Vlad had admitted the Thorns were engaged in wrongdoing, but as Vlad said, everyone already knew that. Here's what I learned from my interview with the police. Alicia Radek was last seen around 4:30 p.m. when she left to go to the bathroom. Unfortunately, there weren't any witnesses in the hallway. All the doors except the bathrooms were supposed to be locked. Additionally, the windows in these rooms were supposed to be locked as well. However, every single door and window was unlocked. That meant that some of the event staff had to be involved. That didn't help much since there were nearly 30 people involved in the planning and many of them had keys for the rooms. There was only one main entrance into the event center. The lady running at the reception desk said that no one had entered the building from the front after 4 p.m., though a couple of people had left. However, it was still possible for someone not at the party to have killed Alicia Radek given the unlocked windows to the rooms. Someone could have gotten into a window to a conference room and left that way as well. The main conclusion from all this was that multiple people were involved in pulling off the murder of Alicia Radek. At least one staff member who had access to a key had to have been involved. Either a staff member used the key themselves, gave their key to somebody else, or had their key stolen. Additionally, someone was probably monitoring the hallway to make sure there were no witnesses. From what I gathered, Detective Rage expected a group operation. I was finally allowed to leave around 8 p.m. My parents were waiting for me outside the event center, and I was so exhausted that I barely reacted when my parents vigorously hugged me. "Oh, my baby, we're so glad you're safe." We were real worried there for a minute. I did my best to muster a smile on my face. "Thanks, guys. I'm alright, honest. Just a little scared." My parents fussed over me. I was getting tired of telling people what had happened, but I explained all I could. I told them about Vlad, Alicia, and the discovery of the body. My parents were both horrified that I witnessed a dead body. "Son, you let us know if you need anything. I know that must have been awful." "Thanks, Dad, but I'm okay." I was tired, but I knew I wasn't done talking about the murder today, because I still had to talk with Alexandra. There would be plenty to discuss. But anyways, what's going on? So one of the people involved in this story got freaking murdered already. That's the third murder that happened in this story already. And apparently the guy that we all thought was committing the murders was in the room with us, so it's not him. So it's somebody else, or it's a group thing. And I'm freaking the fuck out. When we arrived at our home, my dad pulled me aside. "Nick, I know this is going to sound unfair and unreasonable, but we don't want you going out during the day anymore." I wasn't particularly surprised. Obviously, my parents would be worried about me now that I'd been so close to one of the murders. I felt a twinge of guilt because I was going to be sneaking out again anyway. "Nah, he got someone to do it." "Yeah, he probably did, dude." "Okay, Dad, I understand." He blinked at me. "You do?" "Yeah, I get it. I know it's dangerous right now. I'll stay out of trouble until things calm down." Which was a blatant lie. My dad gave a sigh of relief. "Glad to hear it. I was worried you were going to put up a fight." He clapped me on the shoulder. "I know being stuck with your parents doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, but we'll feel so much better knowing that you're safe and sound, Nick. Let's get through this together." "Don't worry, Dad. We'll find things to do. Maybe we could break out the old Monopoly boards." "That's a good idea, son." I returned to my room, feigning that I was going to bed. I really was tired, but I was going to have to keep myself awake for a little while longer. I drank some canned coffee and waited by my door so I could hear my parents talking downstairs. I'd wait until they went to bed to sneak out, but that was probably going to be a while. They were wired. I bet all of Alcantra was. I sat by the door sipping coffee, recharging my brain with sugar and caffeine. Who could the killer or killers be? The obvious answer was Vlad, but he couldn't have killed Alicia Rannick himself, so if he had been responsible, other people had done the work for him. There was a possibility that Elgar Thorne was in on this. That seemed to be the most likely possibility given Alicia's death was brought out by multiple parties and Elgar himself didn't even show up. The most alarming thing about the Thornes being the culprits was that they could get away with this as long as the people working for them didn't talk. I remember the look Vlad gave me. Justice doesn't always triumph before power. And why Alicia Rannick? It now meant that all 3 murder victims were connected. Marina and Alicia were connected, and Beryl Johnson had an affair with Marina's previous husband. Alexandra's theory that Marina Rannick knew something about the Thornes that they didn't was that Marina Rannick knew something about the Thornes that they didn't want getting out. Detective Rage had evidence to support this from the likelihood that someone was paying Marina Rannick. Then Beryl Johnson and Alicia Rannick must have both been killed because the murderer was worried that Marina had told them whatever info the Thornes didn't want getting out. That still left Marina's previous husband, but I guess they couldn't get him if he was out of Alcantra. Beryl Johnson's death had seemed out of place, but with this theory, her death now made sense. A little past 11, I heard my parents getting ready for bed. Being school teachers and all, they usually went to bed earlier than this. It was going to be a little riskier living around my usual departure time of 11:40. It would have to be a little quieter than usual. I waited until I was sure my parents were in their bedroom, though I doubted they had fallen asleep yet. I snuck out the window like I had become accustomed to doing. I made sure to be as quiet as possible when I let myself down from the roof. Then I ran off to meet with Alexandra. And actually here is where I'm going to save. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But I am going to be saving right there. That's going to be... Let's go ahead and raid out real quick. Let me see who's live. Oh, we haven't raided a Room Bear Dad in a while. So it looks like he's playing Look Outside. So this is going to be our raid message. And then... I don't know why they're not showing up. There we go. I was gonna say, I don't know why they're not showing up. So those emotes are there for the next stream. We'll be getting into some real good stuff. So look forward to it. Let's go! But if you want, you can just copy paste just the text message. If you want, you can also copy the emotes. The emotes are there for people who follow the channel. Thank you guys so much for coming in to stream today. Definitely a little bit longer than usual, but I feel pretty good about it. Everything will be uploaded to YouTube. Look forward to more shorts and clips. I'm posting daily on my TikTok right now and on my YouTube shorts. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's start the raid. Bye, chat. Bye, chat. It's time to raid. We're raiding out. Bye.